Hello, welcome back to the Measure Up Grid. My name's Andre, how's everyone doing? It is the 2nd of April, we are no longer Doomtown channel, that was short-lived, right? How's everyone doing? It is a Thursday evening, we're here tonight. That wasn't a very nice fade out of the music, that was a bit too, we'll get it right next time. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're doing okay, hopefully your Thursday. It's been now 2 weeks we've been indoors here, getting a bit antsy. Probably should go on a walk tomorrow. That'd probably be good. Mark Andre, how you doing? How's it going, bud? I've had really low energy all today. I think a part of it always is that I wore contact lenses yesterday. And then this morning I put in my glasses, and my glasses have a lower prescription than my contact lenses. So I just feel foggy all day. That's what I'm convinced. I have no science to back that up. How's everyone doing tonight? We're going to be playing some Netrunner. Just gonna exit Steam so we don't get notifications. We're gonna play some Netrunner this evening. We got a deck list of the week, which is always a fan favorite. This is Khan, the Savvy Skip Tracer. Savvy is a word FFG loves, so you're gonna see that one a fair bit. We play Netrunner. This is a Khan deck, and let me tell you, we're not gonna play it. I don't want to play this list, so we're going to ignore it. I'm kidding. Sanjay has a better list. This is an optimized list. And Sanjay even hinted that the list, the original Khan list could be optimized, and hinted at some of those ideas of what they could be optimized with. And then this list, the one, this is Kevin Tames. Kevin Tame does pretty consistently online tournaments. I don't know where he advertises it. I see it usually on Facebook feeds. I think they're just like Wednesday nights or Tuesday nights or something, and it's free to jump in if you want to play some organized play, especially if you're at home modernly. Maybe you're looking for some organized play. Yeah, Sanjay did a good with this with this Khan deck. And if you don't know Sanjay, yeah, you would probably know Sanjay. Sanjay's been building pretty fun, wild decks for a long time. He's been drawing a lot of alt arts that are really fun. You see him a fair bit on Code Marvelous's stream. I think he's from that same sort of area of Mid-Eastern, not the Middle East, but like Middle Eastern America. A really nice dude. I had the pleasure to meet him a couple times at Worlds. So this is a Khan deck. Khan's ability. This is not the Khan deck I would build. Oh man, Khan has kind of been dismissed largely as like a Netrunner identity that you could play as a choice. Not only does she have a 40 card deck, which is actually pretty good, depending on the meta, unless you're dealing with a lot of net damage stuff, but she only has 12 influence. And that was kind of a theme at the cycle, the Flashpoint cycle. A lot of the identities, both on the Corp and Runner side, were coming out with 12 influence, and that was meant to be flavorful in some way, I think. The idea, especially for the Corps had to be kind of like reborn after the collapse, the whatever the name of that thing that happened in the beginning of Flashpoint was, where basically we went and no one we Mr. Roboted everything. But her ability is interesting. It says the first time you pass a piece of ice each turn, you may install an icebreaker, not even a program, an icebreaker from your hand, lowering the cost by 1, which is pretty restricted. Yo, Haas, how's it going? That influence though, fucking tell me about it. Am I right? 12 influence. You saw this on PU, Potential Unleashed, which is a good thing. You see this on Omar. Who's the shaper that came out in Flashpoint? Was there a shaper that came out in Flashpoint? Hey, Andre. Bought to play a game with my bro. I'm playing a Pirate Geist and he's playing a Jinteki. That's a pretty favored matchup, I think, for Geist. You can't really die a lot of times if you're drawing. What is this garbage? I thought this was a Doomtown channel. How's it going, DevCon? It's still a pretty good game for those who dropped by last night. We play Doomtown instead on this channel. Hopefully taught the game as well, which I think is a really important thing. If you want to play the game, I think it's great. And we hopefully did a good enough job explaining the game. So you can find that. That's on the VOD. Now, let me tell you, and I've said this many times before, but the thing when it comes to jank identities, jank cards, jank is a term people use for cards that aren't very consistent or particularly powerful or competitive, any sort of that stuff that's like kind of weird. Some jank stuff is really interesting because it can make really interesting combos. But at the end of the day, like, Khan's ability isn't even that fun. Like, I don't think it's that nuanced or interesting. It basically just saves you a click to install a thing. Now, her ability is pretty good, specifically if you're using that click to install things. If you're doing something cool with it, and that was kind of the big deal, is that all these like Falcon breakers, which this deck isn't playing, used to play. The idea is that there were these breakers that you would send them back to your hand, and so Khan would have that click compression to reinstall them, and it's still an ability that's like way worse than Haley, admittedly. But this deck, all we're doing is we have Aesop's Pawn Shop, which is a restricted card, which is a pretty big trade-off, especially in Criminal, and we're going to be playing one credit to install clicklessly tycoons and passports and ferries, and we're going to be selling them, and that's it. We basically turned this into a subpar economic identity. It gets a bit better because with Mining Accident we can start to install some of this stuff for free, and that's the thing that, like, this deck is okay. It's probably fine. I don't like shitting on Sanjay's decks. Some of Sanjay's decks are so much fun and so interesting and so exciting. But like, there's some actually interesting things you can do with Khan, I think, that are straight up interesting, not just like, let's try and squeeze more efficiency out of it, that I think are really cool. Some of my favorite stuff to play Khan is like, Stimhack is a fucking hell of a card when you play Khan, right? Like, you Stimhack, you get through a piece of ice, and then you have all these 9 credits to install stuff. So you can actually play like big rig shaper-esque Khan. Even the cool thing is, like, you can go through a run and during the run install a Femme Fatale with Stimhack for, in theory, free. And that's really compelling and really cool. And that's actually something that obviously all shapers can do that with self-modifying code, but criminals can't do. And I'm more excited about doing that stuff than just, you know, putting stuff down for Pawn Shop, but this is probably fine. What's up? Gals, what's up? The 23 seconds thing, wasn't it? Hey fam, how's it going? Yeah, 23 seconds thing, that's what it was called. Good night from Mallorca, good luck, have fun. Hey James, thanks. How you doing? I know it's on my own Geist, but he has a bunch of ways to trip me up, like a border control, which gets rid of Boomerang. Yeah, border control is pretty good against Boomerang. You run 3 of those though, right? Hey Andre, what's up? How's quarantine going? Hey, wait a second, I came here for looking for Doomtown, what gives? It's been alright. I haven't been outside so far this week, which is probably a mistake. I think today I felt a bit cooped up and kind of low energy, so we're gonna come back. Yo, Andre, I'm watching your Doomtown tutorial right now. Thanks so much. I'm trying to get some friends to try and learn it with me. Yo, it's really great fun. It really is tense. There's like a good amount of bluffing. It's really a lot. The characters, the chess. There's a lot of options to it, and it's really, really fun. I haven't published my Tabletop Simulator mod. I need to look whether that's legal or not, but you can find some already on Steam if you want to play it online for free. I think Drive-Thru Cards might right now not be printing stuff because of forced quarantine, but you can buy the standalone decks, the starter decks, and I totally recommend it. It's good stuff. As long as you get past the first piece of ice. Classic Khan thinking. Yeah, you have to get past the first piece of ice, which is probably why we put Amakua and have Boomerang. Like, we can make sure that we have it. Inside Job is also just like a good card, and let alone in Khan, and make sure that your ability fires, which is great. Legal on Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, that's cheating. Cinco, what's up? This isn't Doomtown. Thanks for joining last night, by the way, Cinco. Hope you had fun. Anyways, so this is just value. There's like literally no tricks in it. This deck is basically just playing Criminal with less influence. Our restricted card is Aesop's, and we're running a Haley-esque Aesop's Pawn Shop build on the basis that we're running. And the thing is, like, if you want to do Aesop's Pawn Shop builds, like in Criminal, you can probably do this by just running like Prognostic Q chip, Prognostic Q loop, and Masterwork, stuff like that, where you can actually just like, it's a bit more expensive, but you could clicklessly install stuff, which is like very similar to Khan. The mining accidents have been added to this deck, which I think are great because we can install stuff from hand during a run. You might as well do it with bad publicity. And on top of that, we have a single hostage, which means we went down to 2 Aesops, which saved us 2 influence, which is pretty good. Tataki, there's no money. This deck has literally no cash. It's a huge problem. I can see this being a huge problem. Sanjay talked about it at the bottom of cards that they would like to add. And like No One Home, not only thematically is great because Khan is meant to be a skip tracer and that thing literally skips traces. But we have no economy. Like against hard-hitting news decks, against asset spam decks, if we don't get our mining accidents down against asset spam, we're kind of fucked. It's really bad. It was great fun. Hey, glad you enjoyed it. Somebody posted that VOD on like the Doomtown subreddit, which is admittedly not very active. More conversations happening on the Pinebox forums, Pinebox Entertainment forums. But I need to put a message in there and be like, hey, I know we misplayed some stuff, but welcome to the game or whatever. I'm excited to try this, man. Yeah, I am excited to try this, but that's the thing. It's like it doesn't do anything that's like particularly wildly different than playing. Like you could do this engine and anybody else, and I don't think it'd be that far different, which is like a bummer because if I play Khan, I want to play Khan. Yo, Tobo, how's it going? How's your Thursday? Welcome. But shout out to Sanjay. I think we're gonna try some Wilder decks today. There was 2 ideas we wanted to do. One of them, we'll get to that when we get to that. We have some stuff to talk about as well. I guess off the top, while we're setting up, this is called I Won Something. We have a game night kit, and I need to poll the audience here. We have a game night kit in Montreal on Tuesday night. It's not going to be a big deal. We're playing online, obviously. That's how things are going right now. And I want to ask what your opinion is. We have a couple ways to present it. we could just go online on that Tuesday night and cast the games. Another thing is that I could record the games and actually play in the tournament, because I'm not that interested in playing the tournament while online as well, because it just doesn't feel like a balanced tournament when chat can interact with me and tell me how I'm fucking up, which is bad. So we have a couple options. We can either just cast the thing and just commentate and not play, or we can play and then record it while I'm playing and then upload that after. Or if I just play normally and I'm just kind of focused, and we can upload that after, or I can do live commentary while I'm playing, which isn't online, and then just record that and go up. I made that way more complicated than it should be, but basically either we commentate the game and don't play it, or I record it. And then the options for recording are that I'm just playing like I normally would play a GNK, and then I commentate on top of that, or I commentate live and upload that after. I'll be interested to hear what you think. But it's a very exciting way to make content, and I haven't played in the tournament in a bit. Shout out to Sanjay, he's super cool. He's the nicest dude. He is so totally great dude. I've been very lucky to meet him. Saw you playing the game while streaming. Just disable your chat. Yeah, we could just disable your chat. Can you disable your chat? I guess you can disable your chat. Feels bad though. That's an option. Also great fun watching my metamate Steve playing the Store Championship. Fucking Tataki, he stomped us. He fucking ruined us. Oh, almost got away with it too. Sanjay exceeds calm and fun every time I see him. Yeah. He's really fun to talk to. He's very generous because he like makes his own alt arts too. He's like really excited to meet people. Just like a really great dude. One vote for you playing however you prefer it. Thanks, Jazz. If you play to win. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, we definitely like play something. It's like a GNK, so it's not like the most hardcore thing. We'll probably play something that has a chance of winning. We're not gonna play something that's like we're not gonna stomp it. Like, and I don't mean we can stomp it, but like we're not gonna play tier 1 probably. Dude, try playing him every week. He's so good. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Upload it later with comments. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I think I'm personally leaning way more towards playing the thing. Oh, SSO. That's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be a big issue. We can't interact with them. They're probably on punitive Counter-Strike, which we just don't have enough money to deal with. I think our decoder is Amina if it's on a remote, which is really expensive. Hopefully we can get that down for maybe 6 credits. Con lowers install cost by 1. I guess the mining accidents don't even work that well. I guess you're running a lot, so maybe that's what you need. Thanks. I think we're gonna get stomped here. So you kind of have the usual suspects when you're dealing with SSO. They have advanceable ice, 5-3 agendas. So you know their agenda slate is usually 2 hostile, and then 6 3-pointers, 3 Hollywoods, and then 3 City Works projects. Opening with Amakua can be pretty tricky. They usually have triple advanced Hordem at some point, so this only goes so far, let alone the strength of their ice is usually around 4 or 5. At worst, they run like an ice wall, and that's 4 strength immediately. The early mining accidents can be okay. Their early economy is not very good, but I think we want to mulligan into either the pawn shop just to start our economy. Classic is good. Even a gamble would be good enough. And hey, we nailed it. Play Geist. Yeah, we have 2 Boomerang in our deck. Hopefully we can get that down early and contest that early remote. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, do you have a preference? I know I wouldn't mind watching a recorded game that wasn't live, but I'm GMT, so I don't get to watch live often anyways. Oh, interesting. Oh, fuck us, you know? Scarcity. Okay. All right, so we're gonna try and run R&D here. We're gonna run an HQ as well. I didn't check if they mulliganed. They did, so the chance of them having an agenda in hand is not 0. That's an Orion, which you actually don't see in a lot of SSO decks. If we run HQ here, there's not much that punishes us. Like, they're probably running advanceable ice, so it's like Hordem or Mouseless. In theory, if it is a Mouseless and they res it and the net damage hits the Amina, we're fucked. But like, that's a lot of ifs, right? Okay, that's fine. They're down to 1 credit. That's a Hordem. All right, so we're okay. We're definitely in the lead at this point, I think. I play lots of banks, but I play best possible. Sometimes you have to fight against and with your deck. All right, so we're doing okay. So we're still going to want to set up. We do have the Amina, which deals with Mouseless and Hordem and all this stuff really well. And we actually can afford it. I think we're just going to crank R&D here. And we're really trying to turn this off. There's a chance that this is just an Orion, which there are leagues away from resing. I think they could res here. Well, they didn't, but it could be. Oh, we can install a program. Don't mind if we do. Look at us. God. Agenda. It's a Hadrian's Wall. Okay, this is really weird stuff. This deck is by no means the meta deck you see with SSO. A lot of really big ice. So even just getting like getting the Amina down and getting the ice destruction would be pretty good. There's a chance that we can just brute force pay 6 for the class act and not get too punished for it. I think we need to. Cool. We're very likely to get the mining exit in this game. Play Geist. It's been a while since I've enjoyed playing Geist. I'm just not that good at like the German lists. They are way more aggressive than I am with my cards. I need to practice Geist before I play a tournament with Geist. I think the new Geist decks play wildly different than I do. I'm not aggressive enough with setup, like paying the 1 credit to setup. With Prague Q and stuff like that. Alright, that's a remote. Again, they're going to want their agendas face up on the table, so we really know when we have to interact with them. And they're playing a dedication ceremony. So the Hordem, it has 3 advancement tokens on it. That's largely going to do nothing in this matchup besides Hordem can't get through that, but we have the Amina in hand. Fortunately, we can't afford the Amina, and money in our deck is really thin. Like from this point on, we have 3 Bravado. I think we might, I don't know if we want to run H. Like we could just run R&D to get off a mining accident. Whatever. We get a free install here anyways. They can't res this is a 2. The Fairy's actually worth installing. It has more value than this. Because we could hit a Red Planet Curse. Fuck me, I hate these decks. This is my least favorite card in the game. By like a huge amount. So that means they're just going to dirtle the fuck down. We definitely should have played Turning Wheel first, but we're trying to get around the scarcity. That's the problem with playing a Pawn Shop, is that it is a restricted card. We're going to go ahead and play this. It's probably not going to do us that well, considering we need to just play this. We could run again and play this for 5. Oh, we could have done that in a different order, actually. Getting this down 2 would probably be okay. We can get a value draw here if we want. But I think next turn we run R&D, and if they don't res, we just slap down Amina for 5 credits, which is a lot better. Actually, least favorite, I mean, yeah, I don't blame you, but it's pretty it's terrible. It feels terrible. There's so few ways to interact with it. I think we're going to just click up. If we get the Amina down and we get them with a diversion, they're in a really bad spot. But again, mass commercializations is in the game, so they don't really have to do anything that smart to get all their money up in a really defensive manner. I think it actually might be my least favorite, and that's because IT department rotated. There you go, mass comms. Advance, advance. So they're at 6 credits. What could this be that could be bad for us? They could res a Colossus. We do have a Fairy. If we draw here, we get a value draw, but I don't know what we value draw into. And if they res this, we can just run server 1. So, well, we'll try it. All right. We'll pay 5 for Amina. We have to click for credit, so we don't risk card hitting news or whatever. It's a Hadrian's Wall. The fuck, how are we going to break that? It's huge strength. We really need a diversion. At least we got that down. Amakua or Tycoon. Amakua is honestly not that bad when they can't res their stuff. I'd rather take it. We also have the 3rd Tycoon. And we could do credit here. We're going to have to bite the bullet and get the pawn shop down sometime soon. But now we can actually throw an HQ, and if we get in there, this might be a government takeover deck, if their density is super low. Mascom enables this deck more than anything. Enables a lot of dirtle, but you're right, it does enable this deck. This is probably the Orion, which right now they res for, what, 6? Just advancing everything super slowly. Archive memories for mass comms, like, they have no interest in doing anything, and we basically have to win on singles. This is why I love putting Stargate into so many decks. So if this is, whatever. If this is Orion, we can also just like Fairy through it for not a lot of money. And I wish we could really afford this. Let's get a Bravado. Boomerang is pretty good. So how much do we break this for? We break it for 4 with 3 with bad pub. Our MU is good enough to install this. We actually could have installed the Amakua. Probably would have been better. I think we fucked that up pretty considerably. We definitely want to get the Amakua down there. The second one, this is not particularly good. Yeah, we definitely goofed that. We could have installed Amakua for 1 credit. Instead, we installed this for free, and we can't even use this. And then we could have just run archives. So we need to find a diversion. Bravado's good. Bravado's definitely good. We're going to have to throw out a card here, though, which is awkward. And all our cards are really good. Hadrian's with 3 counters. Ooch. Yeah. Hadrian just gets 3 strength with 3 counters, right? Tycoon's going to be a bit of a struggle. 2 for 3 is not the worst, but 2 for 3 is also not good. I don't think they have tag punishment. Like, maybe we could just play Paragon and just, like, cheese it out here. Then we can't Bravado. Oof. How in the world does this deck win? It puts advancements on everything. It just cycles mass comms. It reses really big ice, so there's a Hadrian's Wall on all centrals, and then it just scores a government takeover from hand. That's largely it. Like, there's not much gonna happen. We're also playing particularly poorly. I don't think we played any of that well. All right. Gain credit hedge fund. Advance this ice. Okay, so this is an Orion. They could res for 6. We have no D-res abilities. No. How does Khan win? I know SSO. Single axes and turning wheel. That's largely it. We have no built-in win condition. We basically have the value of getting our Aesop's pawn shop down. Now, turn 1 scarcity was the worst for us, but like the thing is we don't even have recursion, so we only have so many Aesop's pawn shop fires, but I guess it's normal of every deck. We can just run archives here. We get a credit. We get a cycle. Eventually we want to just bravado something. I guess. What do we do? Click 3 here? Like, we really need to draw a diversion, but we know they have a mass comms in hand. They also threw out 1 Hadrian's. Like, this is going to be such a slow game. Actually, what does Khan actually do? I'm not familiar with the ID. So Khan says the first time you turn, you pass a piece of ice, resed or unresed. You may install an icebreaker, not only a program, not a hardware, specifically an icebreaker from your hand, lowering the install cost by 1. There's so many ways to make this like a bit more compelling and a bit more playable. Like that lowered by 1 could have been lowered by 2. The icebreaker could have been programmed. And back then cash was around, sure, and that would have been a bit better, but I don't even think that itself would be broken. It'd be kind of cool because then you could like value play some of the other like aggressive run cards, like whatever it's called, the piggy bank cards, stuff like that. What's better, Khan, pawn shop, mining accident, or just 3x Rozeki? Exactly, 3x Rozeki. But of course, this deck was to prove a point, right? Like this deck was largely also played in a tournament where you got points for playing a deck that was less competitive. And you don't always have to play competitive. The thing that pains me though is that I don't think this is particularly interesting. Like, fuck me. They res this for free, and then we have to deal with it for the rest of the game, and it's a big ice. And what do they do? Nothing. They incurred no risk. They just sat back and advanced it, and we just don't have any good way to pressure them. I guess we should have paid 4 for this early, but I really think we misplayed the beginning of the game. I'll draw that gamble. Hey Andre, happy Thursday. Playing the best runner ever, I see. It's a deck list of the week. It's like, seems fine. Not flashy, but fine. Okay, I think we're going to pressure Amakua now. I wish we could pressure Amakua with a run. So we're going to try to. We're going to just throw out a Tycoon, I guess. Or res server 1. This looks suspicious as fuck, but let's see if they res us. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, we have 5 MU. Damn, we're good. So we technically access, we can use Paragon, everything's good here. Do you have the cast at the bottom of the stack? Technically we should have hit yes. There's a scarcity here. We can run archives. All right, what's the strength of Orion? 6? 6 feels right. Eventually we'll just break everything for credits. Oh, I'm kidding, they'll ice up archives, of course they will. One of these is a Hadrian's, mind you, we gotta keep that in mind. Oh, never mind, they have a lot of money. So barriers are the one thing that kind of bones us, but I don't think we care. If we draw once, we get more value from Paragon in theory. The Bravado seems a bit better. Bravado doesn't care if we make a successful run. Bravado just runs. Playing this on a single ice is probably not good either. I don't even know what we do with our money. Hey, it's Thursday. My sense of passage of time is so hosed. Yeah, hey, not only you. Me too. Luckily, streaming helps a fair bit. Because we don't stream every day. If we did that, it would all blur together. It's a Colossus! 5 strength. Alright. We'll break that with the Fairy. Fairy's a fine card. It's also one of those good answers to the back of the time people at Helheim servers, brainstorm decks. Current phase pass ice. I don't want to do anything here. What's happening? Do we say no ability? Hostage to the bottom of the stack. Yeah, we don't need that. We have no targets besides Aesop. All right, my friends. We're going to try and just bounce off of this thing ad infinitum. We lose to Colossus. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's really good. That's fine. Okay, we're going to just build up all the turning wheel tokens and then run R&D and win. That's our game. Our game plan is just bounce off of this. Cool. This lets us close the game. We're going to do nothing else. We're just going to bounce off HQ 4 times. If they don't want to close the game, we will. That's a cool thing about turning wheel. Archive memories. That's the second archive memories. They're gonna get back what, a mass comms? They just go mass comms again for more money. This is a funny looking game of Doomtown. How's it going, Run? Yeah, it is. This is what they call in Doomtown Fortress. Usually Spirit Fortress. It's there's like a couple kind of, this is not particularly degenerate, but there are a couple like playstyles in Doomtown that are largely labeled degenerate by people just because they're not fun to play against and they're pretty strong. One of them is like Fortress, where you basically make one big deed and then you put everybody in and make it super defensive and then start building control points, and it's hard to deal with. Last night was fun. Hey, glad you thought so. Just boot their dude. Yeah, we're working on it. All right, so just archive memories, mass comms, credit, a draw card, last click. So they're not doing anything. We're not going to do anything. And basically, they have it in hand. If they have a Biotic Labor into Red Planet Couriers, they win the game. So we basically can get through this if we wanted to, and then we have to go for singles. I'm just going to try win off of R&D. So we can just click this to speed it up. Doomtown looked dope yesterday. It's possible to play it on TTS. Not my mod, but there are other mods that have not everything. They just don't have some of the most modern cards, but you'll find mods for sure. I really enjoyed the Doomtown stream. Let me know when you put that on TTS. I'll try to start decks. I will. I need to look into it. I just don't know the legality of it. We're going to just bounce HQ, bounce HQ, bounce HQ. Hopefully we win the game sooner than later. They also could just be on punitive, so if we steal a 3-pointer, we might also be fucked because our economy is not particularly robust. And I'm not interested to play this because we're going to play 3 on it, then we're going to gain 3 back, and then we need to keep a Tycoon around. I think it's the best Fractor we might have in the matchup. Yeah, it's like legitimately our Fractor. Oh, there's the City Works. All right, they can score that. They actually can't use their ability because they advance all their ice. Like, that's kind of the bad part. This only lets you put tokens on an ice that doesn't have it. So, yeah, we're gonna just ignore that. So now we can run our R&D in Nexus 6. We know it's an Orion on R&D, so we're just going to do that a couple more times until we win. Now, we could lose in turn. Basically, next turn, they could government take over Biotic Labor, Red Planet, all that sort of stuff, and we could lose. So, don't know. TT turning wheel shortcuts are great. Yeah, they really are. They're kind of necessary. Back like a couple months ago, you could always jack out, so it wasn't that important. Now we're really weak to Colossus, so that's a problem. Wormhole? That's annoying because that can be a problem. So we're gonna boomerang that. All right, so our turning wheel days are over. Cool, good enough. Amakur Bagalter, technically the Bagalter. Thank you. We can draw up once more. Another money X, I won't do it. Want to go get that City Works? Because it'll do 5 damage to us. And then we'll probably lose to punitive. They still need to score a fair bit of agendas. But like, this takes 5 damage. It's really hard for us to do it. Mass comes into IPO. They're 25 credits. So we died to punitive. We straight up died to punitive. I don't know what the numbers are on Orion. I think it's 6 strength, 3 subs. They res for free? Oh, that. Oh, 8 strength. Okay. So that's a bit worse for us. We gotta do the math here. So to get to 8 strengths, it's 2, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 bad pub, so that's 5. It's an A sub, not a film critic. Yeah. We have a diversion. Not really worth playing. They have a lot of money, and it'll cost us more than it gets us. It's still better than Class Act. Actually, no, well, yeah, if they didn't have scarcity, it would be. So we're going to gain 3, and then hopefully we don't lose next turn. They could just score from hand. And then we'll go in for Axis 5 or whatever. 6. Maybe we win. I don't know. No, that's Biotic Labor, Red Planet Couriers. Probably a good game. Cool, good game. All right, it's over. Yeah, great. Oh, man, that combo makes me so unhappy. Really doesn't do it for me. Merci pour la game. Ah, de rien. Bonne soirée, bonne soirée. Cool. Andre's least favorite card? Yo, but that's like, oh man. the amount of Wayland we've been playing online, and specifically the amount of Wayland that's just been playing like Red Planet Couriers spam, has been well, not spam as specific Red Planet Couriers, but just like spam mass comms is wild. Like, so few of the things that they did actually mattered. It all mattered like if our single accesses were good. We could have maybe pressured more on the multi-axis in the early game. If they top deck their Red Planet Couriers, sure, maybe next turn is the turn that we should have dug in on the turning wheel, and that actually might be correct on the basis that we knew that they would win if they have the government takeover. So maybe we needed to go in R&D and see the top 6, and if we steal that, sure. Also, maybe we just die if we don't win the game because they have punitive and we have no way to do it. Consider changing the game title to No Red Planet. Look at Chris. RPC's pretty good, but it's no advanced assembly rounds, am I right? Been coming around to that card. That card's way more exciting now. The W making up for years of being a joke. Yeah, so actually that's a good transition. I don't know if y'all seen this. I get it. I get why. I'm not a fan either, just memeing. Oh no, I totally get it. Interesting. Why are the 2 tech guns installed? We're a pawn shop deck, and we installed them for free, so we're meant to be selling them. In theory, one of them should have been an earlier Amakua, which probably wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so check this out. Somebody made this. The name is attached to it, so we'll be able to tell this out. But this is a website that is basically just kind of going through the APIs. Actually, don't read this yet. Running through the APIs of Always Be Running. And I didn't realize on Always Be Running, not only do you report standings, but you actually report your win-losses in certain matchups. I don't think people actually do that, but I think when you upload some of the tournament files from Cobra AI, it might actually read those tournament files. I don't actually know where this data came from. I wasn't aware that Always Be Running, which is a website that accumulates tournament standings, actually had that much scores. So don't go to this website yet, because let's do a little quiz here. What do you think in all the tournaments reported on Always Be Running and whatever the last window is, what's 419's win rate? What do you think 419's win rate is in tournament setting? Cobra started tracking whether it was Corp runner splits. Oh yeah, you're right, because you put what side it is. Okay, so that will make sense. So I guess Cobra does know all this stuff. Having an extra cost side can help you survive punitive. It can. It definitely could. So we need to have all that stuff lined up. Michael's saying 60. What up, Michael? Salty Andre Salty. Guess high 65? Yeah, what do y'all think? 60? Haas is saying 40. That's the lowest we've seen. I guess 60, 55. Sandberg tilts me pretty hard. Yeah, Sandberg's up there on the list. It's the modern IT department, 53. All right. So the stats on this website are nowhere near what I thought they'd be. If you had to ask me what I thought the meta would look like, who's the most winningest runner? Okay, I'll give you a surprise here too. 419 is the most represented runner on the recordings of this website. But 419 is not, well, actually kind of near, but 419 is not the most winning percentage runner. And I don't mean a runner that they recorded 6 games, like have enough data for this to maybe be relevant. Who do you think is the most winning runner, percentage-wise? I imagine 419's cut rate is way above general field rate. Gone. 419 is probably lower than expected because such a high pick rate. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. Val. Everyone's saying Val. Skipon, what's up? I might be spoiled on this. Ooh. If you've seen this, yeah. Padraig says, I'm gonna say Cabanessa. That's a fair guess. You wanna see? No one said it. Magical Girl? No, actually, Magical Girl has a pretty bad win rate right now. And sure, she's new, and there's a lot of experimentation. A lot of people are playing her, so like the cream hasn't risen, or whatever the expression is. So check this out, my boy Gabe. The most winning runner by win rate is Alice Merchant. It's Alice Merchant. She has like a 60% win rate. She won 142, has lost 96. And I'm convinced that most of the decks are probably Apocalypse decks. And that's basically saying like Apocalypse decks are just good in the meta whenever this window is. But check this shit out. 419 is at 418 losses. It's basically straddling exactly 50%. 50 point something. Obviously the highest represented. And the next you have Val, and Val is about similar, 304 to 335. Slightly above 50, but not much after. And then you see some of the other really popular decks. Smoke, very popular. Win rate, not very good. Hoshiko, really bad actually. One of the worst win rates in a popular deck. And on top of that, Haley, about 50-50, what you expect. Freedom, a bit lower than 50. Leela, a bit lower than 50. And this is actually kind of a recurring theme. Runner win rates, according to whatever this data set is, and I don't know the time date exactly, it'll say at the bottom, is all bad. They're all below 50. Anarch win rate, 1130 to 1300, below 50. Criminal, we're doing at 1188 to 979, below 50. Mini Faction, 2018 to 280, still a bit below 50. And Shaper, below 50. On the corp side, they're all above 50, which makes sense. Obviously, that kind of means that, right? 419 players making Palindrome. I wish this said 419, 419. The most winningest faction is Wayland. It's actually the most represented faction. I think next is actually NBN, and then it goes HB Jinteki. Jinteki is actually the worst performing faction in this data set. And I'm not totally surprised by that. I think Jinteki out of all of these has the widest range. And if you want to say competitive stuff, the range between like silly, fun, janky, wild Jinteki and like competitive Mati Makundo-esque Jinteki, there is a big range. So that makes sense. There's a bigger range, I think, than HB or Wayland. Sort of like love that Wayland is good now after years of seeing yellow everywhere. Hey Joe, how's it going? Yeah, I feel it too. But now I don't like playing Wayland that much, which sucks. An old debate, should Corp runners split evenly or should Corps always have a slight advantage? I think the game is more interesting if Corps are winning more than often. And I think that largely is because it makes it more exciting and because the narrative, I think it makes more sense in the narrative in my head. And maybe that is slightly pessimistic of the way I see the world. But I don't mind. Like, if the runners on average have like a 60-40 win rate split, which it isn't exactly, it's a bit better than that, still a bit closer to parity. Like, this is pretty good numbers, like for such a big sample size. Like, that's a fine numbers. I don't mind that. I really don't. I think the only issue is in top cuts when there's situations where it is like, you know, one game, not like when you only play one side of the matchup, and then whether you play runner or corp has like a 10% chance of whether you're going to win or lose. That's the only time where I feel maybe having one side being more favored than the other feels a bit bad, but on a whole, I don't mind it whatsoever. That Esk was doing a heck of a lot of work. Rob, how's it going? What Esk? I take a stab and say that 419 Val got picked up because they're the best deck. Think people would score easy wins, but actually struggle. Yeah, I think that's a big point. Anything that's really well represented, a lot of people are playing it. I wish there was a way, like, to see more accurate numbers of the performance. You need to take these numbers and have to divide them down by like rank. Let me move my face so you can see the whole list actually. So you can see by ELO or whatever, to see like, oh, the top tier Val players. And that's what matters most. Like, the fact that someone picks up Val and has like a 40% win rate, like that number doesn't mean that much. But if someone sticks 200 games into Val and then they're at an 85% win rate, that might mean there's a problem with Val or it needs to be addressed. And anything with a big rate like that, obviously, it's hard to figure that out. Mati-esque. Yes, Mati-esque. Do miss Mati. I do. I think the game's better when runners are proactive, and a slight edge to corps help create that situation. Exactly. It makes the runs exciting, stuff like that. You see on the win corp rate, Argus is the most represented, and you can tell why. It is actually, I think by percentage, it's probably one of the highest winning decks. Some of the other surprises for highest winning decks, Ag Infusion is up there, but the sample size is way smaller. CTM is doing good, but not overrepresented. Earth Station is by far the best corp ID in terms of performance in these charts that was released in the Nisei sets, or maybe it's just the last one. And then I don't think there's any other big standouts. Gagarin, not very well represented. 80, like there's only less than 100, barely 100 games here, but the win rate is very, very, very high. That actually might be the highest win rate, but people don't like playing it. Saraswati, oh boy. Yo, Jogging, what's up? How's it going? Titan also doing pretty well. We saw a lot of Titan in tournaments this weekend across the board, not only, or last weekend it was, right? Whenever was the tournament? It was this weekend, this past weekend. Titan's doing really well because a lot of people are struggling to deal with it. People are teching against it though, which is really cool. So I remember the first A&R Worlds was won with a kill deck. It's pretty much always been a strong archetype. Yeah, I suppose so. But it's also worth knowing the first A&R Worlds, there was no defense to kill. There was no meat damage protection cards. So it's definitely a very different meta. Still haven't had a chance to try out the news cards. Meta here collapsed somewhat. Sorry to hear that, Joe. If it's worth anything, if you're playing online right now, there's a lot of people playing. There's a lot of organized events coming in if you want to drop in, casual, competitive, anything in between. And the new cards have been really great. Okay, now my last thing I want to say about this, like obviously these numbers, and you can, there's win rate over time, so you can kind of see where the data starts. It looks like our data set starts as of September of last year, all the way to now, and the biggest insert of games, that must be Worlds, right? 1002, yeah, that lines up with Worlds. So there's a huge data set here of things. It's not that long lasting. This is basically tracking from Uprising, Uprising booster pack into Uprising and a bit before the Uprising booster pack. So the data's all over the bot. Again, not everyone's reporting their games. Not everyone's reporting their win rates when they report their games. Some people are just reporting like their standings. So this is not complete, but this is interesting. The original tournament structure was really bad for kill. Oh, that's true. It did care heavily about agendas. You would actually win on agenda spread, not on wins. I've been playing Titan since last week, and yeah, it's got game against Anarch, good stuff decks, and 419. Yeah, it really does. It doesn't struggle to interact in other ways. Now, one thing I don't know if warn is the right thing, but there's a lot of websites that can get really big, really strong big numbers when dealing with really big sample size. A lot of people play Hearthstone, and right now there's a really good reasons to play Hearthstone, by the way, for those who give any shits about Hearthstone. There's rotation, so the set size is the smallest it's going to be in a long time. They're giving out free tournament, like really good decks to new players who haven't played in a long time, and on top of that, a new class is coming out. All good stuff, but HS Replay does this, where you go to decks, and it mines all the data from Hearthstone, and it can give you really scary, really accurate numbers where you can just sort by win rate, and then you see this, where you see it's not working right now, but it's because it's literally frozen. But if you choose a class, or if you don't even, you can see what the most winning deck is. So right now in Mage, the winningest deck with, let's go for the one with the biggest sample size, 9,000-esque games, Highlander Mage. You can also watch it live on stream. And not only does it tell you the win rate, it tells you the win up rate matchups. It tells you its win rate if you keep cards in your mulligan, if you, your win rate when a card was drawn, a win rate when a card was played, turns held, turns, all this really stuff. And people play Hearthstone competitively with the big data numbers open, and use this as one of the main ways to figure out how they mulligan and what they should play. And well, not exactly what you should play, you still need to play the game, but this is a really big deal. And a lot of people use the service. The service actually does generate money. You can pay them for the service, and I don't know what you get for it. But yeah, as we'd be saying, is that good for the game? I don't think it is. I think it's actually really bad for the game in some ways. Like, it's good if you want to be competitive immediately, but it disincentivizes creativity a lot of times. But the problem is for Hearthstone, I think their model disincentivizes creativity because it's not a game where you can own all the cards for not that expensive of a price. You actually have to like open them in packs or dust them or purchase expensive packs. It makes sense for somebody to want to spend the least amount of money and to do the best to figure out what is the best deck right now. Hearthstone doesn't have the problem, and I think Hearthstone is way more interesting and nuanced, where getting numbers like this it's kind of hard, like to find the mulligan win rate of hedge fund in your opening hand. Actually, that would be interesting, but you know, I don't like big data like this because I think it does start to perhaps homogenize a lot of people's experiences, and then the meta solves itself through big data collection and big data dumps, which is, you know, scary. And I'm not saying R&D interface at all is going to do it. I just would be mindful, because I also don't think this information is anywhere near granular enough for you to kind of think like, actually, Alice is sleeper OP. Maybe we should all be playing Alice decks, and then you go to a tournament and everyone's playing Alice. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think Alice is the best runner identity. I do think the people who are playing Alice are playing Apocalypse decks, and those are good. I think that's way more important than Alice's ability at all. So it's interesting. So keep that in mind when you look at big data. I'm very fascinated to see this, and the fact that this doesn't line up at all to what I thought it would be, I think is kind of the most interesting thing in this. Knowing what you're trying to attack is really important for competitive brewing. So Solom, that's the thing, and I was considering doing this, and I never got around to doing this. I've made a couple like Python scripts that would grab like Netrunner DB decks, mostly because I'm trying to do audio visual stuff that will show like deck lists on screen, stuff like that. And one thing I'm very interested in when it comes to like knowing the meta is I would love to be able to take tournament decks and figure out what ice they play, and then figure out what you're like on average, how many accesses you need to win, which is hard and probably going to be it's going to involve a lot of like assumptions, but more importantly, figure out what, like, if you're playing Anarch against this HB deck, what you reckon is the most efficient breaker suite, or what do you reckon in Shaper is the best breaker suite to deal with these three decks. And you can calculate that to be like, on average, this deck plays 3 Eli's and 1 Fairchild, so you'll likely see this 3 more times as much. And you know, even if you want to say like this ice ends up more on centrals that you have to run through often, there's a lot of like really complicated stuff, but I'd love to see those numbers. Also, as you're right, knowing what you have to play against is really big. And I get really anxious in metas where it's really silver bullet dependent. It's why I like to play decks that are generally more flexible than anything else. I hate the idea of being like, okay, well, I'm going to play Geist in this tournament. I hope no one plays Scarcity, and everyone plays Scarcity and you have a miserable time. Like, I really don't enjoy that. So even knowing the meta in that way sometimes can be helpful. Card analysis is fun, but I hate for the meta to be solved. I said bad memories from Mumbai. Yeah, exactly. No one wants the meta to be solved, and I don't think the meta is even close to solved right now. I think the fact that Netrunner is both an LCG and doesn't have the same kind of pro scene as MTG or Hearthstone helps stem big data like that. Yeah, it does. It does. But I have no doubt people are crunching before Worlds big data sets on Netrunner DB and what have you. Well, I guess play Wizard for the next few months. Hey, Wizard was good. Val was also good. To some extent, I miss playing Wizard. Anyways, that is sorry. If you wanted to see that URL, it's called rnd-interface.com. Shoutouts to the person who made it. Let me open it in the About tab. It was a name I recognized before. This is from Errant Mage, who is a name you've probably seen. They also sell cards if you want to support them on MPC, make playing cards. So check that out. Do you think Nisa uses Kentucky data to prove the game? I'd be very surprised if they don't. I'd be very surprised if they don't. I have no information if they do or not. I don't know whether, I assume on the JNet side, people can access like big data. You can only access your data if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to see my big data. I know a lot of people who've tracked their own data to crunch their own stuff. If we go to our own stats, it's pretty limited. Like I'd love to be able to see stats per like faction, stats per like, oh, at 419, my win rate versus Wayland or my win rate versus Hard Hitting News is this. And you know, it's cool. It'll help you do with that. I don't think JNet stats are managed anywhere. I think the old maintainer did that and they've been broken for a bit. Oh, Beans. Beans. Does JNet have an API you can interface with? You can interact with? Can I interface with your data? Anywho. I forgot what I named the stream. I think we were going to do some reverse tracing stuff, but I kind of just want to play a Freedom deck just to see what it's like. I've been avoiding viruses based off of theme alone. And somebody claims, specifically Mao claims, we played one of Mao's lists a couple of weeks ago and I really enjoyed it. But they claim this to be what they think is an optimized 419 deck, or sorry, Freedom deck, excuse me. Slip of the tongue. And I like it. The weird includes no stim hack. It does have consume. It has chisel and hippo, which I see a lot of anarchs actually not even doing that anymore. It also has a single dream net, which is really cute. We don't have any virus breeding grounds. We're on 2 Yusuf instead of 3, 2 Black Orchestra. Some interesting includes, and as a restricted, we're only playing a 1 of Paperclip, which might not be necessary. We do have Palangi too, which is really good with both you know, Knob Curie and everything else. And we have Simul Chip, so we can get some value from it, but it's wild. It's wild. For what it's worth, I feel like Freedom is one of those runners I think is super flexible that has a chance to win against everything. And I think I like playing as Freedom. Maybe we'll play with Freedom on Tuesday. Maybe we'll play Freedom. Maybe we gotta play more Freedom to figure out how to get there. All right, welcome to your favorite Doomtown stream. Let's get this in here. A single moshing. In terms of like the solve meta, it's at least to me, the jury is still out whether or not moshing is good enough in like regular Anarch shell, whether it is actually inject or not. I imagine with simul chips, it's a bit easier to swallow. Remember the game, title of the game, No Red Planet. It's okay, we can trash it, we can trash it. They'll only play 2 or 3 archive memories. We can trash it, we can trash it. Freedom changes the game in a universal way, but it's not broken right now. No, I don't think it is broken, but I think it's really good. Did Freedom win Worlds? I feel like Freedom might have won Worlds. It feels like Freedom might have won Worlds. Malice Lumen. We can also trash mass comms, which is great. I like moshing at 1x when you're running some number of redundant uniques and bin breakers. 1x is obviously the easiest. 3x is like a lot, right? Like you're throwing half your deck. Paulina, foods. Generally, these are rushy glacier decks. I'm not expecting any like hard damage. Our opening hand has an I've had worse, which is good to damage. Early chisel's okay. We have both of our breakers. One of these is a 1 of. And it's really nice to have an MK Ultra unless you're worried about face tanking. I wonder what we actually want to set up with. Like, what's our opening hand in this deck? Is it just like Gamble into Liberated? Into Knob Curie? An opening consume would be sweet. We don't have to use an SMC for it. I feel like this hand isn't good. We just don't have any money. Greetings. Let's have a fun game. Hey, cheers. Burst of Lurk. All right. We got our paperclip. 3x you can moshing the moshings. Huge value. It's moshings all the way down, my friends. All right. Very standard opening. I guess Eyesight's credit. We learned nothing about their deck. If we draw, we probably want to draw twice, which is not that bad when we have these. We can always Street Peddler first to see what we get. Yeah, whatever. So give us some decisions. Palangi on Street Peddler, that's hot. Hippo on Street Peddler, equally hot. Moshing on Street Peddler, not hot. So I guess we're going to draw twice. I don't want to play the I've had worse. When we steal Nobukata, it's nice to keep that in pocket, or we face tank into some nonsense. I'm going to draw once more, just throw out double Blorch. Oh my god, we can throw out everything. Wow, we drew all our breakers. Give him auction crowdfunding recursion. Hell yeah. It's a shame. Kana is an idea I've always tried to get working with that success. Lost the red plant curse. Set arrived. Yeah, we lost the con game pretty miserably. We didn't do much and we lost. They were running really big ice. And we don't have a really big economy. Alright, we're gonna do the double draw again. We do have the consume. This fires when we trash a card. So we're gonna want to poke for singles. Our economy really isn't there yet. But in theory, we're threatening all breakers. Showing that we have all breakers is a bit of a bummer, but we have Pelongi anyways, so we didn't really need to show all breakers. But we kind of just want to get accesses so we can start getting our tokens down. Yusuf would be good. They're icing up everything. That's good against Amakua, but it looks like they're not doing anything, which is bad for us, because we interact with them pretty well. I guess we can just keep drawing it to gamble or whatever. Laundry. This is pretty awkward. I don't want to install these things. We just go lower and lower. We can always just like value chisel on R&D. I guess we'll Devil Charm first, just on the table, and then we can throw out a Black Orchestra. Next turn we can put a chisel on R&D and then just like Dirty Laundry it, I guess. Once R&D is open, we can get that imp down. Start trashing. Did they mulligan? They did. Their hand might be garbage. We have 18 credits though. Hopefully if we have to steal an agenda, we just imp it so we don't get punitive to death. Pinsal won Worlds last year with Freedom. Yeah, that makes sense. It was Freedom and like Asa. Nobody expected that. This doesn't feel like a good opening. Is this a good opening, chat? I don't think it is. Also, have we frozen? Test? Hello? Oh, hey. All good. Oh, now I'm yelling. No worries. Infos Nom is so damn satisfying. It is a scary matchup when you're playing CTM. Alright, so we probably want to run that. That looks like it's a what's it called? A Lacosta grid. I'd rather pressure that. Now, we get donked by Anansi here, right? So if they res, the Devil Charm will make it -6 strength. The Chisel will get in. We could have installed the Imp first. If they overinstall their ice, it's fine. We don't have money to trash anything. We really just want to install the Imp and run. We should have installed the Imp first. It's a Nisei, so this is the other one we don't have to trash. It's Lacosta. Feels good. It's good to get that out. We want to get some money. I think we're actually just going to Dirty Laundry for value. We could Imp Dirty Laundry. Oh, we literally cannot do that. We'll Imp. And if they just overinstall this, it's fine. Like, they eat the Chisel, but we then don't use our Devil Charm. I guess they don't spend money, though, so... trade. They could have rested border control here, which would have been a bit gross. If we draw here, they gain a credit. We don't, so I think we might just draw. We just might click for a credit. Actually, they have 1 billion credits. What are we doing? Go back with Imp? Oh, we could have. We don't need to now. We can next turn for sure. We could have just put the Imp and run, but then we wouldn't have the money to do a Dirty Laundry. And I feel like our credits are kind of the worst part going on here, especially because we have to install our breakers from our heap without Bad Pup. So far, Freedom's ability hasn't mattered. But we got an Nisei. It's a good agenda. And we know their agenda suite. Definitely 2 other Niseis. It's like there was ever a question, right? When they're playing Paulina. They have more Niseis, probably Obakatas, 1 SSL, maybe a 3-2, maybe the Quantum. There you go, they trashed it. So they didn't res it, but we also kept a Hippo. And as soon as we install a Simul chip, like, we're fine. Oh, we could have got money, you're right, from Consume imping it. Okay, that's worth knowing. Fuck it. It's probably good enough. Has anyone ever used Acacia to get any good effect? Always seemed cool. We tried it in a deck a couple weeks ago, but no. It was a lot better when you had the Anarch, the Shaper, Sakon, but no, it's like Fester, all that stuff too. It's like really hard to get value from it. So here the idea is that we threaten with Simul chip. We might have to trash this, but we basically have access to this remote. Acacia's really weird, right? Like it's this kind of win more card. Like if you already have a lot of viruses, you're already probably in a good spot. Just like Fester, right? Fester I've actually seen more playable in aggressive decks, because some decks you really need to purge that don't care about the virus counters. So that's the thing. I think a lot of times you would res just to eat the Devil Charm, because now we still have the Devil Charm Chisel Simulchip threat, let alone they don't know what's on here. For what it's worth, we don't know what's on here. And the Imp is going to give us money. Successful run. We're going to access what's probably an agenda first. It's a Nisei. We're going to steal that. We're going to Imp this. We're not that weak to punitive, and we got 2 Niseis, which is sweet, and we are really threatening them. I think we actually can click this. They could purge, like they don't really have anything to do, and I think clicking for 2 is like good enough for our board state. No, can't lose consume. We'd bring it back. We'd bring it back. We have more Simulchips. We gotta do something. I wonder what's on the remote. We're now on game point, mind you. They do have 3-pointers. All right, so their money doesn't matter. We can just click to draw, and we'll get the we'll slow down a bit. We'll get this cast down. We can't get both down, so we'll drop some more. DreamNet's pretty sweet. They do have a lot of money to spend on ice, even if it's like just trivial annoying stuff like slot machines, stuff like that's annoying. And this fires whenever you trash a corp card. It's not like Gravedigger, which fires on any corp card really getting trashed, which is pretty sweet. NGO front fires, Rashida fires. There's a lot of cards that trash themselves. What's that? What is that? What's that? I feel like we don't have to do anything. We're on game point. We can sit back a bit. And we already got the Niseis. I didn't think this deck had stim hacks. Yo, TTS mod is that in the thumbnail? Hobbit, how's it going? In this thumbnail? Talking about Doomtown, Andre made it himself. He hasn't published to the public. Yeah, if the Doomtown one yesterday I haven't published. That is ours. That's an NGO front. Like, there's no way that's the last Nisei, right? Oh, nice. Wonder why they didn't res the remote ice to stop the second seal. They were worried about it getting immediately simul-chipped and killed. Yeah, Hobbit, that's one I built. It isn't public yet. It probably will be at some point. I want to have a program that we can install so that we can trash it. We'll get one here, right? Devil Charm, SMC. Oh, that's good. Liberated Counts is probably the best card here, though. But we could threaten a run here. So basically, we can threaten a run and then just open up a server. We do have a Stargate, which SMC gives us access to. I think we actually will Dirty Laundry R&D. Let's see if they res. They might. Well, we're threatening a kill here. We could always like pull SMC, trash it. Or just get an Axis, maybe. That'd be nice. That'd be kind of cool. We can't steal a Bacata, but we could always imp it. Oh, we're in. Don't need any of these. It's a DNA tracker. We're gonna imp that. Gives us consume. Place a virus counter on consume. Yes, thank you. Stimhack someone with SC, then use your Simulchip. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. We could just Stimhack this shit. We could Stimhack this. I'm assuming that this is like with 2 4-2s out. The chance of this being the last 4-2 is pretty low. So I'm assuming that's just like a slow roll of an NGO front. I didn't even see what they did it. Install credit hedge fund. Maybe not. Maybe they're baiting us on purpose. But we still have threat to everything. Deliberated sounds nice. We want to knob Kari pretty badly. Oh, that's good too. I don't want to install that here. We'll just draw again. Just do 2 draws a turn to give him Polana credits. Okay, my friends, this wasn't what we were thinking it was. Personalized portal. When the runner turn begin, the runner draws 1 card, then you gain 1 credit for every card in the hand. So they have infinite money. It's a thumbtack with a Twitch fish. I'm loving TTS lately during these times. Yeah, okay. So I didn't realize that. It's almost definitely the tabletop simulator for Doomtown Reloaded that we put together. But there are other Doomtown mods on the workshop on Steam. Oh, fucking shit fuck. Okay, well, we don't know what this deck is. We were cocky. Luckily, we had an I've Had Worse in hand, which draws up. I think we run and trash that. So that's a viral weaponization, which got our whole hand. Was that really that good? Losing the I've Had Worse, not bad. Losing 2 Liberateds, though, and the 1 DreamNet, that's a bit worse for us. I think we can just gamble and run this. There's a reason actually to stim hack on purpose, so this doesn't do as good. Pog, yeah, that was rough. This is interesting. That's a swordsman. We can install the MK Ultra and then break this for 5. And then we have an MK Ultra installed, which means we can use a simul chip. Yeah, I guess we're going to do that. We could also just tank net damage, but these are pretty good cards. And once we trash this, we get a 4 credit click. Consume is a really good card. I wonder if there's any way for us to kill them, for them to kill us. Excuse me. When did we draw that turn? They didn't get a credit for it, did they? When does this happen? Oh, so it was on their turn. Very tricky. Let's draw into, we have Stargate access here, so basically we could just, if we were really confident, Street Peddler for Stargate. SMC for Stargate, Stimhack SMC for Stargate, I guess, but then you can't use the Stargate. And then maybe close the game off. I think camping the remote might be good enough. I don't think their money's great. Celebrity Gift doesn't do that well when they only have 4 cards in hand, so they're going to drop first. They played an IPO, a hedge fund. All right, my friends. Don't know what this is. Don't know what either of these are. One of these is a Rashida. Did we just say fuck it and Stimhack SMC out? We're totally going to forget we have a Hippo here. I feel like the Hippo's more useful than anything else. I want to be able to get this Imp back up. We may be simul shape for the Imp. This deck actually is pretty tricky to play proficiently. And just getting the free draw from DreamNet would have been really strong. We can force some runs. I imagine they're playing some of the bigger ice. I guess we only saw DNA, and I'm assuming this ice is big enough that they're scared to res it. Okay. We'll eat the server. Yeah, it's a good freedom deck, huh? We can trash 2 ice on the server if we really need to. Actually, not true. No, it's true. I've thought about it. It's true. It's a Komainu. Oh, oh, oh. All right, so we probably Hippo that. And we just break that for, say, 6. Expensive. We make 2 back. So now we're here. We'll continue because we can still now simul chip for something else. And what does it say? Installed program has been trashed, so it won't count off the Street Peddler. This freedom deck is good. How are you holding up with events? What do you mean, Joggin? So this is the ice that they haven't res earlier, and we're still doing the same threat with simul chip into double charm. No further action. So we'll trash the Rashida. Oh, it's a Flotic. That's better than a Rashida. Is this the Rashida? We're now very much on game point. Getting the Stargate down would be sweet. Keeping that in hand is also really good. We'll draw once more. Knobkery is awesome because it gives us another imp, so I think we're just going to play the gamble. And then next turn we can slam this and just start running centrals. Semblance of my routine means more than you know. Thank you for streaming. Oh, glad Jogging that lines up for you. How are things going your way, by the way, on your side? We're doing pretty good in terms of events. Like, we decided to run things online. They're draw. We're running things online. We have a G&K next week. We had a Stir Championship last week. A lot of people are running stuff online. If you want to get involved, want to have community, voice chat, all that good stuff, it's all there if you can stretch out. That'll be Jeeves, maybe? Oh, yeah, maybe, actually. It might just actually be a personalized portal, or like, I don't know what else it could be. I think we'll just drop Knobkery to get infinite, and then we'll see from there. We still have access to an SMC. And I think running HQ might be more interesting. I want them to spend money here, and then we can pivot to R&D. Knobkery, a hell of a card. Ooh, it's another Kumainu. Family and dogs, good stuff, no complaints. People safe, just a strange life. It is weird, it is weird. Francis, thanks for the online tournament for streaming the last one. Hey, Francis, glad you enjoyed it. How you doing? We gotta think about this. This ice is really annoying to deal with. We could just like chisel it and then just not use anything else. I think we will. So on approach, this is on approach. I missed the window. Do you mind if I rerun? Because we want to do this on approach. It means that we can break it once. We can actually, in theory, let it fire. Thanks. Because we can just simul chip here to get the chisel on it. We won't trash it. But we have to wait here because we want to do this on counter. Or sorry, on approach. So we'll trash the MK Ultra, I guess, to install Chisel. Now we can counter it. Gets 1. It's not going to die yet, but if we rerun it, it will die. So we can face tank this to draw cards. It's random which damage we take first. I think we can actually afford the 6 here. Choose a trigger to resolve MK Ultra. Install MK Ultra. Oh, I guess we are face tanking it. If we install, let all subs fire. Okay, so hopefully we don't draw into the Stargate and then fire it. We're gonna access with 3 cards, so we're safe to snare. Parasite was the best breaker. It was kind of good. I'm doing good. Well, and will there be a next one? We'll be there at the next one. Oh fuck yeah, Francis, this is Frank, right? And no Devil Charm. And nah, it's all good. Where's the Doomtown? Zareth, what's up? Maybe another time. I don't know. I think maybe doing like a better tutorial and putting that up because we have the ability to do it. Oh, it is. That makes so sense. I saw Francis Fortin and I thought it made a lot of sense. How you doing? I loved it. Hey, glad you liked it. But yeah, we probably make a better one and just put it on another channel and just say like, hey, here's some Doomtown content. But I don't know if we want to get things a bit too complicated here. Oh, it fired. It fired. So we lost our whole hand. Oh, excuse me. So Nabakuri's going to fire a successful run, gets an imp token. Means we're going to get more money. We also get another Simul chip, which is dope. We hit an Aiki. We can either use the imp counter or trash with a virus counter. I think we're going to do the imp counter. We'll put the money on consume. That's good. We drew this turn, so we might as well draw once again. Actually, no, we're going to run HQ once more just so that this dies. It doesn't change much. But it gives us another here. So Devil Charm hits first. Sorry, I meant to hit the other one. It's going to hit first. Put a counter on consume. So here snare could be awkward. I guess we don't care if we're tagged. Like the Street Peddler could die. Just popped in to say hello before I slept. Hey, appreciate it, Zareth. Hopefully things are going okay. It's a DNA tracker. We'd love to be able to imp that. And I think we're just going to head and click for 6, which is a good amount from 1 click. And from here, we have access to the Simul chip, which access to Devil Charm, Chisel, Devil Charm. Chisel's really strong. Reinstalled, assuming that's the DNA, we kind of want to force them to res it. That'd be good. A Kakago would probably just bounce off of, we could break it if we really want to go in, and they've reinstalled in server 2. That actually might have been a snare. And with 9 cards, one of these is a Stargate. But we'll draw once. Oh, that's even better. That's actually awkward. I think we'll just set up for a Stargate. Oh, that's good too. They're pretty far away from winning. That's just money. It gives us card draw. Like, that's actually pretty good for us. Like, now we just install Stargate and go, and we have access to Chisel Charm. So we'll just do Stargate, Chisel. We have to get through the Archives Ice. It could be meaningful. And we still haven't seen a restricted card, whether they are an Obokata. I'd assume so. Their deck wants to do damage, but this kind of is like an anti-Obokata card, right? And they might actually be on Focus Group, a card that says Fast Advance based off of cards in hand, if you can name the type. But we haven't also seen any, like, what's it called? Slot machine or anything that supports that archetype meaningfully. All right, we'll force them to res and then we'll come back and chisel it after. Does that sound good? Nah, that doesn't sound amazing. We'll just get this down. Stargate pressures them. So this, we look at the top 3 cards. We still get a successful run. Getting our Palangi down would have been really good. I think Palangi's so good in just any matchup that Palangi Nob Curie might be better than Imp Palangi, Imp Curie. It's an Anansi. So it looks like we're gonna be taking the damage from this because we're not gonna break all the subroutines. Why didn't it let me do Devil Charm? Oh, apparently not. We don't take damage from that? Focus Group only works if you make a successful run. Oh, I think you're right, yeah. Successful run, place a virus counter. We'll put it on the Imp. It's just more flexible there. It's a mental health clinic. Could be server 1, a snare, and a tech startup. So we probably want to trash the snare. We can just kind of run back here. We can trash the mental health clinic for free. And then what was the next card? I actually forget. It was a tech startup. Oh, whatever. The ice doesn't exist, right? It just disappears. So the text isn't active. A mental health clinic, we can just trash this for 0, so which we'll do trash it for 0, put the virus on consume. This is a very strong setup. We're gonna get a free card draw, which is actually really nice and stops us from dying from the rest of their deck. They can't really fast advance out of a 4-2. We have the only 3-2, and we're still threatening them. Like, I think we just take our money off of, fuck, never mind. We take our money off of this, play the hippo. We also can pressure HQ. Like, things are going okay. Should we take the money off of this first? We probably should. We still have to install our breakers, and they're on the more expensive side. We're gonna run HQ. I think this is a DNA tracker, which if they res that, R&D is wide open. We can still hippo it. We have to break all the subroutines though, which is actually pretty hard on a DNA tracker. So we might have to do a trick here. There's no good trick. Do we have a trick? Yeah, we do have a trick. We gotta do a trick here. We can win. Thinking. I think we need to do a trick here. I think we're gonna have to eat or consume. So we're install the Black Orchestra. No. Do we? What's it cost to break everything? I guess we could install Palangi, but then we can't install anything else. I think we have enough money. Yeah, I think it's 9. All right, well, our money sucks, but at least we get 2 back. The Campfire Snare, R&D might be open. I think the only thing they can probably res in their deck is Ike. This is a problem. They're gonna get money back. It's the tech startup, we'll trash that for free. So we could click for 4. We actually probably wanted to put the counter on the consume just so we can click for 6 because our money is a bit shit. And instead of putting on the imp, I wasn't thinking. I didn't realize there was another imp token on there. We also could just run it back. I feel running it back is just good. I don't think they're gonna purge this turn. If they purge this turn, we just run him back in and get that stuff back. I'd say Project Yagiuda. That'll actually win the game. Woo! Freedom has pressure. Wow, Freedom has pressure. They had some big ice and they didn't really have the economy to back it up, but they're doing some really fun stuff with tech startup. Maybe their tech startup for the portal. What's the startup for? Portal? All right, we gotta see everything. So it's Lacosta. They did have some big stuff, and Aiki was one of the only ice in their deck I reckon they could have rezzed on R&D. Nancy and Archive's not particularly good, but Chiashi in their mode. Ooh, Chiashi. They could have rezzed the Chiashi, and we actually couldn't have destroyed it. We could have made it 2 strength, not 0 strength. I'm not sure why they didn't res it. Maybe they didn't have the money. Or mental health if I managed to get them all down. So mental health clinic is the other combo. Not only does this give you 1 credit per turn, but with personalized portals, you get extra because their hand size is probably pretty bigger. What ice doesn't exist? Sorry. Oh, excuse me. That much ice distraction is just hard to deal with. Yeah, especially when they're paying around like 8 to I don't know. On average, their res cost of their ice is probably like 4 to 5 credits. Yeah, it was never a good time to res it when you never had to break it. Not the worst bounce. Good game. Cool. Yeah, we couldn't have destroyed this immediately, but we could always like paperclip through this and hippo it, and then it would be absolutely disastrous. But they spent a lot of money on ice, and we destroyed most of it. We got our cheap accesses, and cheap accesses are so good with Nopcurie. What's left in our deck? Oh yeah, right. That card. That card's really good at generating virus counters, which doesn't matter that much in this deck. We actually never even saw a barrier. It's really good though if you play Palangi, which as I think one of the interesting things about this deck is what you decide to keep and what you decide to throw out with not only like your peddlers but also your simul chips. It makes it way more interesting than clone chip by a huge margin. Let's give this another shot. From here, I don't know if we have time to build another deck. It's already 10. We have like another good hour and a half in us. Maybe we do. I don't think we do. Usually it takes like what, 20 minutes to build a deck if we're lucky. And then we usually play it as a really bad iteration. And so then we need another like hour to iron it out. Maybe we'll do another time. We're gonna be streaming some more. We tried to stream every 2 days. I guess because we streamed on Saturday and we streamed for like 7 hours. We took a bit of a break and came back yesterday, which was a real Netrunner stream. But after that, ooh, outfit, that's an interesting matchup. Take a viewer's deck? Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing to do. This is always a fun matchup. We can trash Too Big to Fail. We can trash High Profile Target. Sorry, technically. Thanks, you too. We can trash Economic Warfare. Oh, cheers. That's very kind. So this is actually pretty good. Having I've Had Worse in hand is okay. Having money and a way to get virus counters while accessing is kind of the best. We probably can't ask for that much better of a hand than this. And they're going to get a lot of bad pub, which means Street Peddler goes far, Simul Chip goes far, and Self-Modifying Code goes far, which is pretty good. Yo, the last viewer's deck that we took, fuck, I forget who gave the deck specifically. But it was the Iceless Remotes Earth Station deck. 9 out of 10. Really great. This is also a 0 cost card, so we can trash this for free. I never love, a lot of people play this click 1 on turn 1, and I never like doing it. I don't think you, unless you need it to res your ice, and again, they have some really big ice that we might struggle to deal with, but luckily we have money. I never love it. I love this card way better as a surprise, where they're like, oh, they don't have a lot of money, we can interact with them, and then suddenly they're at like 15 or whatever. That deck was incredible. It was really cool. I don't know. I don't like too big to fail click 1. I don't think you get anything from it. And it gives us a bad pub. Like, you're way better off going low and then playing it. All right, we can draw. Blongi's good. We can draw. I think we'll just take the money. We actually probably should have drawn once more to throw this out. Just, I don't know. Actually, maybe not, because then they see we have it, but then we don't have to spend a click to install it. It's time for Jemison. Fucking yeah, jogging. If you can give a Jemison deck, I'll play it, because, man, I miss Jemison. Hey, talk about the money war. Double hedge. Going for the remote too. We might need to set up, and set up is kind of what we can do here. We'll draw once. We have Stargate. It's pretty good pressure. Now running here is actually not that bad, right? Like Trebuchet doesn't do much. We could actually go for single axis. As soon as we play a card though, Trebuchet does fuck us up. Yo, Kimor, Madrid, how's it going? Welcome. Resing Trebuchet only for it to get charmed feels pretty bad. That's true. We can't actually full charm Bulwark. It's 8 strength. Red Rock, BB. And a bad Acme deck if you want to lose a game or two. It's been a while since I played Acme, since UCF rotated. We can go for a poke here. Whatever. Res some ice. Trace 6. How's it going, Chemo? Successful run SDS drone deployment. That fucking countered us. Okay. Okay, we got this. Do we die to punitive? Probably not. We have no, we have this. We're very unlikely. So this looks weird as shit. Maybe you always install this first. So hey, they res that, they got a credit back, so they res this for 3. We know they have an SDS in hand, so if they install advanced events, we kind of know what they're doing. Like this. So I think we just like play Palangi, run it, right? That's a Bulwark. How much does it cost to go through a Bulwark with a fucking Black Orchestra? It's a lot. I've done the math. It's like 9. Woo! We're doing it. This might not be the right play, but we're going to struggle with this card for the whole game. I think we'll make it a code gate. It's some money. It's only 12. Fuck it. Worth. We're fine. We're probably fine. All right, pay to steal. We don't need that. It's not important. You don't need those cards. I think we're just gonna click for credits. We could draw into dirty. For what it's worth, if we're worried about punitive, drawing is actually worse. It makes it less likely we survive. If we have 3 cards in hand, we almost definitely survive unless they have triple punitive. If we have 5 cards, we could lose to double punitive. So drawing is sometimes wrong. Oh, we didn't get punished though. But good thing about clicking for credits though is it puts us closer to our sweet ass recovery. How many subs is it? It's 3 subs. And we have to break all of them in theory. I think it's worth paying 3 to keep our Palangi around. We technically didn't need to. I mean, 5 or 6 more bad pub. It's only normal level expensive. Yeah, we only played 11 for that. We had bad pub. It's true. I found one. Fuck yeah. More than 9, buddy. Install ice. All right. Who wants some Yusuf counters? I do, but I think we're going to have to go a bit faster than that. We'll start with Street Peddler, actually. Moshing, that keeps showing up there. Dreamnet's really good. It's the only one that we can play. We actually installed for 1 credit, and it gets us a card draw. So running Archives is not great. Playing Yusuf and running Archives, that's a value. And Yusuf is really good with Palangi. I think we'll do that. We didn't get punished before. What's the chance we'll get punished now? This is probably a Rashid. So before we access, we're going to install the Dreamnet for free, actually. We have 2 bad pub. What happened? How did we get 2 bad pub? Oh, because there is a Bulwark, of course. And there's that Dirty Laundry that gives us even more value. We could run again to get more value, more counters off of Yusuf, which we can make anything into a barrier. Whoa, hopefully their big ice doesn't ruin us. But Whatever, we'll just take this money. It risks us hard-hitting news, econ warfare, all that shit. City Works and Divested Trust, check this ish. Yeah, check it out. Do you have a link? That sounds good. If you have a link, even a number. Ooh, it's a Roughneck. Ooh, not liking that. We really, it's not, we can trash this for free, but this is one of them non-rush decks. This is a Glacier fucking outfit deck. It's going Red Planet Couriers us, my friends. Janktown activated. I think this card is underrated. I want to play Searchlight, by the way, in outfit with this card. I realize Searchlight reses for like 1 credit, which makes it seem a bit better. But hey, Dirty Laundry is 3 credits a card and a token. Chisel. I don't think they're on punitive anymore. I don't think we need Kibbenai Edwards. We have more in our deck. Knobcree is pretty good, but I think we're just going to keep playing the money game. We have 2 clicks left, so we can install the cast, hit this one. That's probably good enough. I don't love that card overall. Why is that? It's more interesting melange, right? How about a red level clearance fast advance Jemison with armed intimidation HPT? That card's good to fast advance. We have no more bad pub. It is another Dirtle Wayland card where you do nothing and wait for your red. They're not on Red Planet Couriers, mind you, but they could be. If we install Knobcurry, we get another token of Pelongi, which doesn't matter that much. It's not worth the 5 credit advancement so far, but I think we're going to run Archives for a token and draw a card. We're going to draw a card anyways, and I'm not scared of interacting with them, especially because our money situation is okay. Chisel deals with border control relatively well. Now, the problem is if we get enough counters on this, I reckon they just purge, but then we're kind of back in the same spot. We'll draw it again. That's good, I guess. Yeah, that's not bad. How many tokens do we need to be, like, scary? What's the strength of Trebuchet? 6? So we need 5 tokens. Easily removing BP as NPE? You think it's NPE? Is there a big Red Planet meta now then? The way I play online, yes, there is. It's like 60% of the games we play. Not actually, though. But actually, yes. I feel like Roughnecks kind of takes away the downside cards with the cost of taking bad pub. Nob gets a counter on Chisel, though. Oh, yeah, it's true. Nob does get a counter on Chisel. That's cute. I always forget about that. All right. I wouldn't have said that, but there's a consensus right now in chat that the removal of bad publicity is considered like a negative play environment. BP is fairly balanced as a permanent downside. I think you're right about that. Yeah, maybe you're right about that. We've had other bad publicity removal cards and none of them been compelling. And Roughneck is kind of showing up more in like asset spam decks just because it's a fine 1 influence card, especially when you need a consulting visit in there. All right, how do we threaten them? We run Archives. We actually see a card here. It's an under the bus. All right, so that makes sense. They need to deal with Film Critic. I don't think we actually have any connections that we give a shit about. So we have access to how many breakers? 2. That's largely good enough. We could drop Stargate and like pressure it. I really want to get more Ice Destruction on the table, and I think Chisel might be good enough. Let's draw once again. We can install 2. How much money do we need? Like, this money is actually not winning us the game. They said 1x Audacity and Preemptive and to add a border control. Okay, cool. Thanks, John. We'll come back to that after this. All right, it's a Bull City Works project. They could probably score that. We could maybe imp it. We haven't seen an imp yet. But also this one's hard to deal with. So how many counters did we say we need to deal with that thing? We also could find our paperclip. That would be pretty good. We probably wanted to be drawing more. That makes running this a bit better. That makes running this a lot better, actually. Now our hand's pretty good. Well, there you go. That's exactly what we wanted. From here, what do? We want to throw this out. I think we want to get this down on something. At least we can fork them whether they trash or not. It's not particularly compelling. But putting this on border control, like if border control dies anyway, you feel pretty okay about it. And I think we want to install something here so we don't lose something. Installing the Knobcurry feels rough, but yeah, at least we can trash the border control instantly. And we'll throw out the paperclip, which is just a good card to have in this matchup. Roughneck is mostly balanced by being bad. I just don't like the mechanic. I think it's fine. They're devoting their turn to removing their bad pub. Honestly, bad pub can be so punishing. Don't think the cards that give it are good enough to swing to give the runner. Val says hi. Well, I think the biggest deal is that if you have a bad pub, like you're basically betting that the game is going to be over fast enough. Oh, it's an arc lockdown. We don't have a fractor. Yeah, that's not a card I've seen in a long time. The consulting visit for it as well. So we're going to have to play the whole game with Yusuf as our Fractor. So we don't have a good answer to Bulwark besides this Palangi that hopefully goes infinite. Not feeling the worst about it. I think we can do this. So, do we get an extra counter on Yusuf? No, I think we get an extra counter on that thing. So we'll still run Archives. What? Good night. David, how's it going? I will do DreamNet first. It doesn't really matter. Virus counter. We'll put it on the Chisel, I suppose. We have 6 on here. So that means we can get through a lot of stuff. What's the counters to get through this? You need 5 for strength, then 6, 7, 8. So not enough. 6, 7, 8. We, in theory, could do all of it, but then we can't get through this. But we can still bounce into it. It would probably be fine. Have we ever double chiseled something? Going in for a single seems bad. I feel like we need Stargate for this to be good. And I think they're just going to purge soon enough. The amount of people that want about everything Corpse do never ceases to amaze me. Protect the Beatles. It's true. Those are brilliant comments from Doomtown. Yeah, I remember that yesterday, last night, actually. What is this? Good night. Simulchip? What do we get with Simulchip, though? It doesn't even get us anything. Like Blork? Why would we Simulchip? We can put them on the table. I think we need to interact with them. We need to force something. We'll run. This could be bad. We could Stargate run. I feel like that's probably better. I don't think we're going to use our credits. Not going to use 19x credits here. To get the Chisel back clicklessly? Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's worth doing. Just so we don't have to trash one of our own cards. We can still do it last click and sell Chisel. Chisel. I honestly wonder if the fact that corporations in real life are awful colors some people's opinions on Netrunner. I don't think so. I really don't. For what it's worth, runners are way shittier people than they look like. Having this down makes it more complicated for them. But not really. It just gets a Black Orchestra, which in theory it matters because if this is a cent. Okay, they're just ending the run. I like that. So hey, we got our border control down. And then before our turn ends, we'll just get that down. Taco came back. A challenge for the next build you do on stream, the most Doomtown deck you can make. Are we all on Doomtown train now? You should be. It's a good game. Is there anything even vaguely cowboy related? Or even Wild West related? I think there's nothing. Oh wow, they advanced it to 4. I didn't realize that. So they can jam at the remote. And by jamming the remote, I mean do that, which is fine. I think we always play this, right? Like something's gonna die here. Doomtown was super fun. Be happy to see more Doomtown. Hey, glad to hear. We might actually make another channel for that just because I don't think consistently that happens. Gravedigger. Oh, Gravedigger somewhat, yeah. Black hat, white hat. Yeah, there's a gun, right? All right. Ooh, we keep hitting this thing. This thing keeps showing up today. This thing keeps fucking showing up. How much does it cost to get through it? Is that ever worth doing? Man, they just res a Hadrian's. This ice is really poorly costed against Paperclip, but we did lose our Paperclip. They paid fucking 10 for that. I think we bounced and they just purged, but what's it cost to get through? Because if they purge anyways, it doesn't matter. How many tokens? 4, 5, 6. Fuck it. You gotta spend money to make money. That makes sense. 2 subs? Okay. It's a Stargate run. It's a good run. We broke this for free. Yeah, we'll break it with Yusuf. If we have a Hippo, it's also really good. Because it can die. Or not Hippo, sorry, Devil Charm. Oh, that's not good. This is frozen. 2 more counters off of Yusuf. Did it not happen? Everything seems a bit frozen. Let's just run that back. Because you're right, I don't think we used enough counters. I think you are right. I think you owe them 2 more counters. Rabbi, what's up? Yeah, I just hit the mouse pad. I think you're right. I don't think... we did it. Excuse me. Okay. 4 to break match. Why is it... What's happening here? Whatever, we'll spend 2 more. Oh, wow, they have HPT. They also have fucking Sandberg, which I'm more worried about that. Okay, so virus counters. No, it's counters virus. Virus 2? Huh? Yeah, okay. Hopefully that's right. Did you play virus deck? And you start sneezing? Coincidence. You have Chisel, which drops by 2 strength. Did we fuck it? 4 counters is correct? Cause Chisel? Okay, wait, never mind. Chat, it's way too, it's way too hard math for me. I'm just trusting y'all have my back here. I don't know what happened. All right, so they're gonna draw into a Roughneck, which is arguably okay. From here, we really want to find a Hippo or more accurately a Devil Charm. We'll just draw. Oh, that's also pretty good. Because of Chisel, so Chisel saved us the credits. Cyberpunk and Western are pretty night and day, TBF. There must be Cyberpunk Westerns though, right? Desperado is pretty cowboy. Fortunately, it's not standard legal. That's dirty. Also love your presentation on Shark Tank, very convincing. Wait, what? Super ultra jank. Oh, this list. I didn't open this list. What is this, Frank? Click one rather than querying quarantines. Hold on, I have to open this in Chrome. So what's happening? We don't know yet. That's fine. Okay, ice it up. That's good. That's good. We don't know what ice that is. We didn't see any ice. They also have HPT, which means economic warfare is probably a given. Or more likely, sorry, hard-hitting news, which is probably a given. But our credits are probably good enough. And they do have some money. So we really want to draw into Hippo just so we can threaten this thing, because whatever this is dies and we make money off of its passing. Hostage is a cowboy. NBN train ice. Oh yeah, there's an NBN ice that has a train on it. That's kind of close. There should be more cowboy shit. Can we just chisel everything? Oh, there you go. That's what we wanted. We'll run archives first, install Hippo, run R&D. Oh, put the virus counter on this bad boy. I don't even know if we have enough virus counters to contest it. We're gonna have to throw something out here, which is unfortunate. Maybe the stim hack? I don't know. Did we click to draw that turn? Oh, we're so stupid. What the fuck were we thinking there? It's because that turn took too long. Double chisel. Double chisel's not bad. Some of the Jemison deck has won me 75% of the games. I hope it has. When does this thing die? Soon? Alright, they can probably have the high profile. I don't think it matters. Why is this happening so consistently? It's getting frozen. Getting frozen isn't particularly compelling English, but compelling isn't even compelling English. Let's just roll that back. Found a glitch in the matrix. Something's going on. I think you're breaking twice over and messing the prompt. Okay, so let's actually do the numbers to see what it should cost. So when we encounter this, its strength is only 3. So we need to spend only 2 counters to break it. Yeah, you're right. I think we are double breaking it. I think that's the biggest issue here. Let it go. Yeah, it's because we were breaking it twice. Sandberg, Hostile. Okay, Hostile will still be on the top. I'm going to just go ahead and delete that Sandberg. Gets the consume token. This seems like the turn that they want to purge. Just go down to 5 cards. So Hippo's really good. Imp is really good in this matchup if they're holding in cards in hand that they want to threaten us with. Stim Hack is a bit dodgy. Money is good. Simul Chip is really good. Chisel is good. I think we're actually going to throw out the Stim Hack. I don't think I said high mark. Excuse me if I have. So they just drew into a Hostile. So having some HQ pressure would be pretty good. But it's very likely we can trash the Hadrians off of R&D, which would be nice. They paid a lot for that. Draw feels wrong. If you counter 4 times, successful run, it dies. Yeah, exactly. Draw was definitely wrong. Let alone we can run archives to get the counter on it and draw. Like, it was definitely wrong. That could easily be the Hostile. More likely than anything, it's the Hostile. Fuck. This is not an easy deck to play. Alright, so we can run archives. Maybe they feed us an agenda. They go for the punitive. I doubt it. We have a pretty good economy. We're not actually using any money to interact with their ice, which is obviously very good for us. They probably don't res this ice because getting this chisel would be bad. No purge. Yeah, no purge is weird. I love how much ice they're committing everywhere except archives. I know, if one is open, like, purging is useless. One ice on archives, it's such a different game, especially because we don't have a fucking paperclip. We'll start with the run archives. We can just double bounce this. We'll do DreamNet. That's fine. They threw out one HPT. I'm assuming this is hostile score. It also could be Rashida. Could be another roughneck. We knew they drew into a roughneck and they didn't throw it out. I think we just run once like normal. I think we just do run, run, run. It's actually a fresh Stargate, so whatever. We can do that. Run RD, we probably could have just slammed you, right? Like maybe we just run this 3 times. Oh, I hear Animal Crossing music. It's really nice. So we can still run this 3 times. We can throw this out. So this is still 2 counters for 2 subs. We haven't found a CVS yet, which is fortunate. Hostile throwing out. Wow. Wow. Oh no. So we're going to throw out the building blocks and hit the hostile. So the CVS on top obviously is going to be a huge fucking problem for us. I said yes. Thank you. Now, been a while since I caught a stream. Hope you're doing well, Andre. Always love a stream. Got me searching NRB for Western themed cards. Closest I found is Hot Pursuit so far. It's really hard. Motorcycles do show up in Toontown. Hope you're doing well, Mark. Glad you can make it. We're just gonna slam this. We need to hit this twice more, right? And that CVS is gonna be bad. Pretty sure you can trash the CVS there? Oh yeah, you're right. We could have trashed the CVS there. It'd be way better. And we don't access it. Them putting in the remote is way worse for us. The building blocks isn't particularly good. It just saves them money. They have enough money. Hit consume, run remote. So basically we can trash the Hadrians this turn and then jack out. But then we lose the 6 credits on consume, which will be 4 credits. But then they spend 3 credits to deny us the credits. I think it's fine. I think trashing the Hadrians is the most important thing. Our threat to win is off of Game Point and Stargate. Maybe there is a border control here on Purge. That'd be hilarious. It's good enough. There's a reason to play 2 Yusufs. I just don't think this is the day we do it. CVS and Archives does shut it down. It does. If they throw CVS and Archives, it's fine. It does shut it down. We might be in a bad spot. Like, obviously losing that paperclip, we could have respected our clock down, but it's not really something we play around. So that's a CVS in there. That's okay. Simulchip will do it, right? We just run normally. If they purge, we run Archives, then we Stargate. I haven't thought this through too well, but it seems right. That could be an SDS, which is actually equally scory. Hit consume meow? Oh, we could hit consume meow, you're right. It's an Anansi. I'm gonna ask for action. They could res here and deny us 10. Trash it, I reckon. I think we're just gonna Stargate again. But you're right, it'd be good to trash it. It's 8 tokens and I'd rather have the money. I think I'm good, okay. So we're gonna go for the Stargate here. I don't know what could be bad here. Like what? I guess we could hit a bulwark. But it's our choice what program we trash, so we can just simulchip it back. This phrase check is not too bad if you have options. No, you're all good, all good. Oh, yo, DreamNet, a hell of a card, am I right? What is this? Did it make no downside to Masanori? Seems okay. I like the art too. I think this card is definitely playable in any deck that doesn't even consider running 2-link or being digital. It's just John for 1 credit more with no liability. John's a good card. Especially when you install it for free. Yeah, we did that, didn't we? Yeah, that is good. We're in. Alright. Shit's wild here. If we had another click, we would have won the game. So we're just going to head and trash the SSL. Place a virus on consume. And if they can't win this turn, they're not winning next turn. Easily could be a hostile in the remote. I don't think there's any way they can keep us out of the remote unless they purge, because we have Pelongi, but even if they purge, we can maybe bounce somewhere else. I don't know. We have access to how many breakers? Just the code gate ones. Just the code gate ones. And they just drew an Anansi, which is not even, like, we can, Anansi can fire, it's fine. I think that's it. Ooh. Let's hope no archive in hand. One hand, I like the DreamNet art. On the other hand, I don't like staring at nostrils. You gotta focus on the middle where the laser dot is. Ooh, ooh. Preemptive would be maybe worse. I think we can pressure HQ a bit. I don't know why they didn't res. I wonder what this is. That's the thing, is I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, there's so many bad things that we could have hit that they just wanted to purge. Double Sandberg trash really hurt. Can't say I'm sorry to see that one go. Sandberg is disgusting. And again, the fact that we didn't have a real killer, if you don't know what Sandberg is, it's the big reason why they're just dumping their money into something that doesn't really matter. Is that if they don't have, it boosts the strength of their ice. And if we don't have a real good fractor, hey, cheers, E2. If I can ask. I really want to know what's on R&D. Credits gained, by the way, was pretty even. Like, they played an econ deck, and we didn't play like a big money econ deck. But the fact that we literally used no credits to break ice, besides obviously that bulwark, we could get through everything. Why didn't they res the Tithonium? They could have res Tithonium Purge. Why didn't they do that? That would have destroyed us. Am I missing something? Seeing the deck that takes BP to get infinite money, removes the BP for getting more money, then locks the board down by just having money. I'm happy with that deck, doesn't work. Me too. That's the rest of R&D's eyes. Why didn't you res? You're not missing anything. Yeah, right? Res Tithonium and the CVS. Would have been rocked. Yeah, they could have res this and the same window res this, and we have to encounter it. We don't have a paperclip, so it would fire. And we would have to trash 2 programs their choice and trash a resource, which would be DreamNet and end the run. Quantum max value for the chisbait. Yeah, we would have been absolutely hosed by that. And that's kind of the problem with CBS, is like, what could have we done? Like, the Pelongi gets purged, so it's not, and if the Pelongi is purged, we can't like simul chip out the Black Orchestra to deal with it. So we would have been absolutely stoned by that. And then we would basically, they would trash it, and then we couldn't run archives. Like, we would have been locked out of the game if they did that. Because we have no way to break fractors if everything's iced. We have no way of breaking anything. We need to get more tokens on this. And you make the tokens when the run's successful, so then you run archives. Yeah, if they did that, we would have lost the game 100%. I want max value. Sending him a message. Even if you did have Pelongi, I thought it could be used in conjunction to install a Blorch. I don't know if it could, but it shouldn't matter. Like, they can res this and res this on approach and fire this, so we don't have Pelongi and the simulchip Black Orchestra doesn't matter. Unless we had, actually we could have maybe got in once if we had double simulchip, but one of our simulchips is already out. Because we could have installed a Pelongi and a Black Orchestra on the same turn. You couldn't be used in conjunction. Yeah, I don't think you can, because this is when you encounter. Sorry, this is choose an ice subtype, the ice you're encountering, and this is before you encounter. This install ability is when you encounter, so you can't use this to do that. No, I don't think so. You purge everything on approach. I hit it with an empty Pelongi and no fractor. And no way to deal with it in the bin. Yeah, they would have killed us. Jemison time. Yeah, let's do Jemison. Heading to bed. Good night. Hey, Joe. Sleep well. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Yeah, they would have locked us out for sure if they did it. Hey, no worries. 4:30 a.m. in Norway. Oh fuck, yo, get some sleep, man. It's gonna be light soon. Hey. Just for play. Hey, it's learning. It's a learning thing. I don't want to sound condescending. It's a good place. If you had done it, I think you win. I got no way to deal with barriers anymore. Time has no meaning under quarantine. You say that, but then I have to wait for my fucking thing to be built in Animal Crossing a whole day, so time has a strong meaning suddenly. Oh, we'll build a museum tomorrow. Well, great. Now I have all my animals out on the beach, and that's probably a crime. No worries. Hey, cheers. What's going on with Animal Crossing? Not a game I thought I would like, and then I purchased it. Maddie plays it, so I was like, I'm gonna get in here, and so I can join in her island. Really enjoying it. It's nice. It gives you some structure. It's one of those games that like really doesn't incentivize you too heavily to grind heavily on a day. It's like, hey, if you want to play 20 minutes a day, there's going to be new stuff every day, and that's kind of really cool. I don't know literally anything about this game. Fuck. Okay, well, this will become an Animal Crossing stream. It is a game in which you play a person who has come to an island, a tropical island, and somebody sets you up with a tent and says, I'll build you a house. You have to take a loan out, no interest, pay it back whenever you want, no penalties to it. And you largely make money by like collecting bugs and fishing and just being really chill and vibing well. You collect furniture, you craft things like shovels and hammers and that whole sort of Minecraft-esque thing. There's actually no real hammers. And from that, you kind of just keep building. No interest loan. It's really good. It's really good. Fight night is what jogging's saying. Okay, I got you. It's really chill. It's just been really, really fun. You can go to other islands and find insects and put them in museums and fish, and I'm building a house and making it look real nice. Millennial Fantasy Simulator. It largely is, right? It's like, hey, you're on this island. You want to be self-sufficient and like just kind of chill with your friends on a beach with no real stresses. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it for a game that has nothing really to it besides like get more stuff so you can have more stuff. It's on Steam. No, it's Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's actually kind of really hard to find physically. You can download it digitally. They've been making Animal Crossing games for a while. It's huge. Okay, the real thing that is fucking me on Animal Crossing is they're doing a seasonal event called Rabbit Day or Bunny Day or something. It's basically like their Easter thing, and this fucking scary ass rabbit character shows up and says like, I'll be back in 12 days if you bring me eggs or whatever. You can basically, eggs are now showing up all around the world, and there's like 8 types of eggs, and you'll find the eggs, and then you can use the eggs to craft these seasonal items. And except the seasonal items are like garishly, like it's like very, very, very colorful. What's it called? Like that sort of bright pastel colors. Like everything's made of eggs and it's all very bright and cheery, and it's just like not the aesthetic that I would care about at all in the world that I'm building. Like a lot of people probably like it, so I don't care about this shit. None of this shit matters to me. But the biggest issue is that these stuff show up in normal stuff. Like you'll hit a tree to try and get wood, and suddenly an egg will come out, and you're like, that could have been wood, which I could have used to build my fucking empire. Or you're fishing, and oh, there's a cool fish, I'm gonna fish for it, and you pull it, and it's a fucking egg. And the biggest issue to me is like I started playing this game about 2 weeks or 1 week later than most people, so I'm still like struggling to get enough resources to start getting places. By now some people might be bored and are not fishing that actively because they have most of the fish, which is technically not true right now because a new month means new environment. So like I'm trying to be like, yo, I really need flint right now. It's really important that I can get the store if I can find flint. And then I'm hitting the thing that has flint and fucking shit eggs pop out. And for something that's meant to be cool and vibing, Animal Crossing, what's with these fucking... I don't give a shit about the eggs. If I could sell the eggs for good money, yeah, maybe, but still. Oh boy. Pastel, thank you, Decon. Thanks, I'll check it out when I work my way up the Switch. Still haven't played Breath of the Wild, that's supposed to be... It's really good. Yeah, Rage is real and it's hilarious. It's a problem! I'm behind the curve and I'm trying to catch up to my friends who are like, check this shit out. I made a whole Japanese town here. Look, I paved the streets. I'm like, I live in a tent. My friends live in a tent. Please give me the resources I need. I don't need eggs. Stop it. I also want every version of Mario Kart. I'm convinced my wife could get a Switch one. Mario Kart and Switch is great. Mario Kart, for what it's worth, is one of the video games I refuse to play. It makes me so upset. Is Animal Crossing is coming? It really is. It actually very is. This egg disaster has been lame, but everything else about it has just been rad. The music is so good. Every hour has its own music. So if you play it from 6 to 7, there's a specifically like a melody for 6 to 7, and the melody will change. Like there's a bunch of different, well, not the melody will change, that will stay the same, but like the arrangement and instrumentation will change based off the weather in the game. So like the 6 o'clock rainy music is something you'll probably never hear maybe for a long time until it happens. It does so many things so well. I'm just absolutely chilling with it. Thanks for the new 419 text. Oh, it sucks. Yo, Ken, what's up? Quick question. Are you allowed to purge viruses if it doesn't change the game state? Runner tokens don't have viruses or no ice with virus tokens. Yes, you are. You used to not be able to, but then they changed it. You can now purge for no reason, which is a big deal with Deck Sandbox, Cyber Sandbox. Don't know the name of that card exactly, but you probably can figure it out. Yes, you can. You used to not be able to, which was hilarious. The rule used to be specifically that you couldn't purge unless it cleared virus tokens off of a card, so it could change game state. And then before that point, they printed out political graffiti, which means if you ran no viruses in political graffiti, the corp had no way to legally purge this card, which is probably not intended, but they've changed all that. You can purge for fun. You can literally purge for fun. Mark found Western cards. I found Cobra, Woodcutter, Unregistered S&W, Push Your Luck. That's a good one. Scavenge. Okay. Manhunt, Snatch and Grab, Bad Times, Black Hat, Gravedigger, and Offer Can't Refuse Blacklist. You can't make a deck out of those. That's the biggest issue. You really can't. Kevin, what's up? It's Eggademic. It's rough. Admittedly, like, I think Animal Crossing might be the most important video game to come out this whole year by a mile. It's like, I think the top selling video game of this year by a huge amount. I think in Japan alone, in like one day, it sold 3.5 million units. Like, absolutely crazy. But the biggest thing is so many people are staying inside. And this game came out at the exact right time where it's like, hey, do you want to hang out in wildlife with your friends, which is something you can't really do too easily now, and like build and explore and just be chill and calm and control your life? 10 out of 10. Kind of the biggest thing. I get 2020 can or won't. Can or won't exactly what? Mario Kart? I won't. I can't. I won't. I don't think that was a Mario Kart. Anyway, sorry, Fight Night. Animal Crossing is some cool shit. It's some really cool shit. Make a Doomtown deck. It's really hard. We really can't. Pandemic has done really well for several entertainment industries. It really has. It really has. A lot of people are indoors playing games, hopefully connecting online. If you got like Discord or Zoom is having some issues right now from my understanding. People are playing games online. All those servers are largely still up, which is great. So hopefully you can connect. I guess maybe that's why here. Book sales are up a crazy amount. Fuck yeah. I gotta finish Snow Crash. I got a good hour in that the other day. I'm almost done. It's a big Animal Crossing display at PAX East. Last con before Society Collapse. Yeah, people are really jazzed for it. It's kind of like Smash Bros. Games. I guess a bit, not as much, but like you expect one for every console generation, and they're usually pretty great. I've never played any of them. I was really into them as a kid. I never played them, but I remember being like a kid watching other people who had GameCubes because we never had consoles to be like, oh, I can collect all the furniture. Playing Cards Day is a great site. I'll play cribbage with anyone there. Oh, cool. Playing Cards.io is the website. Apathy linked. For what it's worth too, I got into cribbage through the app Cribbage with Grandpas, which check it out if you have a mobile. It's fun. I purge for fun all the time, just like in life. Ooh. All right, this is the deck that we wanted to play a while ago. Fight Night, Focus Group Jemison. Here's my Jemison list for Fight Night. It was hosted last Thursday. This is a recurring game night tournament during the COVID-19 outbreak. Good stuff. There's a lot of regular tournaments going on. Even if you're don't know anybody, these are not cliques. These are like strangers playing together. Get in on it. It's good stuff. The point of this tournament is to have fun and play some weirder cards. Going through the chains of agendas, Jemison, however, is pretty flexible and can play traps, even more fast advanced tag and regulation, so on. Cool combo here is they've been interaction between CityWorks Project and Divested Trust. When the trust scored, I can forfeit when the opponent would steal CityWorks Project, deal the damage, and retain it. I forgot to add one copy of Audacity in here. I would definitely recommend one of those. Other cards I would easily find home are Border Control and a Singleton Preemptive. Okay, so we're going to try and fix that. Snow Crash has great bits. Overall, it's up and down. Parts of it are amazing. I've been enjoying it. Snow Crash is awesome. The first chapter is the most intense piece of delivery ever. Yeah, it's really fun. Pet fostering adoption is way up. Yo, yeah, pet fostering is hugely up, like way up. People want pets. And I hope there isn't a fallout after this where people realize I can't stay at home all day. Whoa, a dog is hard. So hope for the best. I've worked for friends who are fostering pets now, and they don't have to stay late to work. Animals are like with a big winner of this, right? Like dogs who are like, wait, you're home all the time. We are friends now. Like that's good stuff. Cat has moved in with me because no, we're all together for the social distancing and living with Cat. 9 out of 10. She threw up today. I hope she's fine. Maddie just laughed. All right, just in astronautics, a really good ability. It lets us forfeit an agenda to get agenda counters, and this is actually at any paid ability window, which is really, really exciting. Because we can do some cool traps. You can access a Project Junebug, and then as long as you have a way to forfeit agendas during a run, and this deck honestly doesn't have too many. That's kind of worries me. We don't have a lot of tricks to do that. Like normally, I guess the only one we have is Ibrahim and Corporate Town, which is a really good card. But on top of that, we normally a lot of these decks will run other things like Quarantine System or whatever that card's called, and other things to do it. So we don't have that many ways to do that cool trick. We'd have to do it mid-run, but then they can always jack out. We have Archers. I guess that's our mid-1 run, and similarly to Thonium. Firewall, that's wild. That should be a border control, right? Divested Trust? Oh yeah, we have Divested Trust, you're right. This deck also should just run False Lead, right? Like why the fuck would we not play False Lead? False Lead is just better than this card. I guess that was not the point of this tournament. What kind of dog? Puppy or older puppy? It's a cat. It is a calico cat. Her name is Nanico. She's good. Little Engine, Contract Killer, Quicksand, Crowbar. Quicksand's a good one. Shiv Spike, Wasteland, Bailiff, High Stakes Job. That's a good one too. Patron, Watchdog, boom. Show, Force, Preemptive Action, Scarcity, Best Defenses. There are a bunch of cards there that you could argue are Doomtown adjacent, and Mark is doing a good job at this. Can we build a deck out of all of these? Maybe. Let's make this better. Yeah, Jogging, let's make this better. We can tune this. For what's worth, I think Jemison is like underrated as hell. Plain text, cool. Is pretty underrated. I think it's a good ability. Just gotta find all the cards. Once we get all the data together, like we'll just stare at it on a wall. Someone will be like, "Oh yes," and we'll see the deck that's obviously been there. Oh, I didn't see that. That's wild down there. See which faction side would be best to build it out of. A lot of times I do that, where you throw all the cards in a list and be like, "Well, there's 37 Anarch influence here, so I guess that's decided." Andre and Jemison, do you get to boot their dudes? Thoroughbred, you boot the shit out of their dudes. Jemison's all about booting their dudes. Just think forfeit means boot your agenda. Boot your agenda to get advancement counters. That's good. That's good. Oh man, fuck. Just to show you this, because this would be so fucking easy the other way. I'm sorry that we'll get back to this. We still have a good time today. But there is so many cards in Doomtown that share names with directly with like cards in Netrunner, and maybe this is, I don't think this is on purpose. This shows up also in Arkham Horror, which is more on purpose, but like there's so many cards in Doomtown that have the straight name. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to name all of them. There's a Hostile Takeover, there's Friends in High Places. If anyone plays Doomtown and knows more than that, please chime in now so this list seems more substantial. It's there, you'll find them. They are there. There's Enigma. I'm kidding. There's a pawn shop. Yeah, there was, Jason, you're right. There's Pettigrews. There is a pawn shop. Pettigrews is a good pawn shop. Los is there. You see? Los to the Plague, De Annulos Mysterious, Ronda Sage Blossom. I thought Los was actually going to show up there. That was not a full joke, but I landed it, I guess. Oof. Okay, now we're really reaching. No Diesel? They didn't have it back then. Anyways, it's fun to see that. Mine's just over 2 years old. You dog? The cat's of your sister, right? Or did you get cat by yourself? No, it's Maddie's cat. My girlfriend, she moved in. She's been here now. It's been what, 2 weeks, Maddie? About. She says about, yeah. She was playing Doomtown with me yesterday. Okay, anyways, let's make this better. Oh, this is not the right one. Let's make this one better. Okay, we'll start here. Jemison. Make Jemison cool. Does she play Netrunner? She does. She does play Netrunner. She's been playing for a while now. Been playing in tournaments. We'll be playing the GNK on Tuesday. Maddie, you're playing on Tuesday, right? Yeah. She's been playing a lot of Paulina. She plays Paulina pretty well. Like, she does Glacier. Fuck. Okay, Maddie's gonna hear this. I want to say this in a way that doesn't sound like a slight, because it really isn't. But at least when Maddie started playing the game, she had these fucking amazing bluffs that were, to some extent, because she didn't fully understand how upgrades work. So she would like make full remotes and install advanced in them. What's it called? BioVault. And then install advanced events another emote. And people didn't know any fucking idea what to do about that. 9 out of 10, really good play. Maddie is the queen of install advanced events Nisei Mark II. Which for anybody who's like really like, oh, I played Netrunner for a long time, I've seen people stream. Nobody fucking does that. And that's wrong. Like you should do that because everyone's like, oh, it's an NGO front and an Obokata. And then Maddie like advances a Nisei, which is great because you still have a score to 4-2 and have a click so you can jam. And they're like, oh, what? I thought there was an NGO front. And I'm not saying that Maddie's not doing that on purpose. Obviously she is at this point, but like it's good shit. And like you get a bit of that edge when you have someone who is in like totally by the books, like, oh, I see how to do Netrunner. But yeah, she's been playing for a while, doing all right. Playing Hoshiko and Paulina, probably. Yeah, it's best plays. It's best move. I ain't say the height of Mattia Obo nonsense. Hell yeah, turn one install advanced Nisei. I miss Mati. I do miss Mati. Mati was fun. I'm glad I don't have to play against it, but you know where I'm coming from. All right. Fight night round 2. Where we at? Jemison. Okay, so what we want to do with the deck, we want to see what all these cards do. Oh, Oberth, that's our big forfeit card. That's huge. Okay, so we have Navai, Mumbai, City, Grid. This seems like a meta call that I'm not confident anywhere near enough to make, so we're not going to do that. Biovault, that's interesting. It's an install advance that it looks good. It's interesting. It looks good. Aurel Salvatore. Wild. The Navi Mumbai wrecked me yesterday. What were you playing, Geist? We have a too big to fail. We have a stock buyback for 13 agendas. A lot of them are 1-pointers, right? Like the standoffs are 0-pointers, the atlases, all that sort of stuff. Standoff is also really good when we have Tithoniums and archers and so far. Let's do with the basic stuff that they said that they would start to do, which if I recall here, I'd easily recommend 1 copy of Audacity. That's just such a flexible card in this sort of list, just because we can fast advance out and it opens the doors to fast advancing out the game, especially if they control the table. We wanted to get border control. Border control, hey, it's a good card. What can you say? So firewall definitely shouldn't be in there. 3 Mass Vingo, we actually don't use advancement counters in a reasonable way, so we can actually probably do that and just put border control in it. 3 border control, maybe it's too expensive. We'll see as the deck goes. What else do they want? I think we want a preemptive, which is just a good enough card when we play like a lot of weird stuff that can be trashable. We'll get that in. There are we agendas in Doomtown. Oh, fuck yeah, thank you. You reminded me. Huh? Navi Mumbai seems alright with Boomerang everywhere. Yeah, it's good against Boomerang. What is this Doomtown nonsense? Please define. It's a good card game we played yesterday. We taught you how to play if you want to learn it. I have a tabletop simulator mod, not published. There are published ones. Excuse me. What does booting a dude mean? Forfeit to add counters to Biovault, then ETR and score? Yeah, that's actually, I guess, the trick with this, right? Like you forfeit a standoff somehow by resing an archer to Thonium, and then you get a free Biovault, and they get that out of nowhere. That's pretty cool. Audacity 1x. Did we fuck it up? No, we got it. We got it. So we're at 50 cards and 16 influence, so that's a bad start. But we can. How do we add influence to this deck? How do we add influence to this deck? Huh? We didn't change anything. Focus group, Arella, Navi. We just took out a card. And how did we go up? Oh, because Ibrahim fell out of. Wow, that's wild. So we need to play another yellow card. I'm on the Navi train. I'll try it. It's a yellow card, and we need those just on the basis that we need enough to make Ibrahim Salim not a problem. Yeah, we lost the alliance. I didn't realize that. It's not often you remove a card and your influence goes up. It's scary. Ice, we have 13, which isn't the most. We could also play other weird trick things. Now, we have this also weird shit going on here. We have Corporate Town and Ibrahim Salim, which, you know, they're good to get denial, and it's cool to be able to protect them. Contract killers sometimes can kill people out of nowhere, which is nice and fun. But in terms of kill, we do have armed intimidation, which if you can fast advance this thing, it's going to be a really tricky thing. Jump the Sapper. Like looking at our ice here, we're also just missing some of the good ice that Wayland should be playing pretty consistently. Like I'd love to play Afshar almost all the time. Like Afshar, Hordem and Enigma do have face check penalties. Enigma has a bigger one, but like Afshar is just such a nice ice. People are even playing it out of faction. I don't know why we wouldn't in faction. Oh, here we go. Special order, Fall Guy, Notoriety, Rabbit Hole. Okay, Hunter, Parasite, Desperado, the Toolbox. Desperado's a good one. Hostile Takeover, Scorcher, Sandman. That's not a real card, is it? Yeah, it is. You're right. Embezzle, no one home, white hat, black hat. We need the hats. So armed intimidation even in this deck. How do we punish tags? I don't know. Fresh resources. Focus group is amazing in any deck. I need to play more of this card, especially with slot machines and with like Ibrahim, which is like Nambo sort of. It seems really cool. Or mouse. Mouse is good. So we got to think like, what are we putting on our centrals? What are we putting on our remotes? In terms of hard ender runs, we have Tithoniums, we have border controls, we have Afshars and Archers. That's probably enough that we don't need the Mesfingo and don't need the Sapper. From here, we could probably just play like 2 Mouseless, something that's like taxing and annoying to deal with. I feel like our deck just doesn't have enough ice as a whole. Do I like Hoardem more than Mouseless? Mouseless is generally a bit more annoying. Hoardem does end the run, but I don't know if we're going to have a problem with end the runs. I don't actually know if Surveyor's going to be good. It's cute with Arella, but it might be hard for us. Our money is also pretty poop. Stock buyback can be better than another IPO, but our money is probably pretty bad. Maybe that was right. What is the supersized Junebug trap? Do you mean Junebug? That's what we're going to do, right? So the idea is that they run this, and before they access, we forfeit an agenda to res one of these minor cards or Oberth or something like that, and then suddenly this has more tokens on it than they ever could have considered, and then they die. Which is really good. And in theory, they can prevent the damage with some card abilities if Navi's all up in there, but you can't put Navi in. Why are we playing 2 regions? That seems fucked, doesn't it? More TD TBF or IPO? I feel like more IPO is good enough. I don't know if we need 2 BTF. We're not really threatening, like, Bad Pub is pretty bad when we have this many trashables. We also have 51 cards and something has to give. I assume the Contract Killer is not amazing. This is really wild. Like, so much of this is so wild. I imagine False Lead is probably better than some of this other stuff. Like, Hostile's really good. It's an agenda you can score. False Lead has to be better than Divested, right? Cut Navi for IP? Yeah, that IP block seems good enough. That's also more ice, which is great. But do we just put False Lead? Yeah, False Lead for sure. False Lead's cool. False Lead's also sometimes cool with City Works Project, Armor Intimidation. You can do some cool stuff. False Lead also in theory is cool if you do False Lead with Corporate Town into like the Contract Killer that we cut. Whoops. But you have some cool stuff there. This deck is going to be a solid. I have no doubt it's going to be a solid. We are a bit over on agendas. So we can actually play 1 fewer, but I don't really see why we would care. Armed Intimidation probably isn't necessary. Like, we could do +1, -2, +1. That's probably good. Armed Intimidation is... You want a lot of agendas in this deck that are good at tempo positive, because a lot of times you score them, and then you throw it out and keep going. Need a restricted card. I don't even know what runner corp restricted cards are modernly. Can't play Obakata, play Fairchild. So cards like Corporate Sales Team are pretty sweet. They kind of go in there, come out, and come like you get the 10 cards and then you sell it for the next best thing. So this is always a neat card. This would be good if we just played some punishment, but we literally don't have any. Focus Group is going to be fucking wild. I'm excited to play that. So I think we're going to cut this, play 20 cards, and we have to cut 2 more. We could play GFI instead of City Works Project. I don't think we get an advantage from City Works Project. City Works Project was good with the other card that we did cut, but also City Works Project, GFI, sorry, is Influence. Keep that Corp down. Corp down we're keeping. I have a feeling this deck is just better with False Lead, HHN, HPT. Yeah, but we're not going to do that because that's just Jemison. Miss Bones, Hengeki. Hengeki? Why'd you put Hengeki there? Broad Leylight, Peeping Tom, Eavesdrop, Gold Farmer. That's a good one. Roughneck, Repair Squad, False Lead, Chisel, MU, Safecracker, Lucky Charm. Lucky Charm's good. Boomerang, Whistleblower. I know some of these were reaching. There aren't many options. First thought's Wayland or Criminal. That sounds right. Even thematically, it sounds right. Fuck. Make criminals criminal again, Nisei. Give someone a shotgun. Let's go. Give someone a shotgun. And a horse. Give someone a horse. Give some. We have a... Quanju PT, by the way, does Hengeki's hanging? Okay, I don't think that's actually what it means. Quanju PT counts. It's the closest we have to a horse. And there are motorcycles in Doomtown because Wild West. Weird West. What are we cutting? We just got a bit too much in here. Like, we could cut Arella and then just play 3 GFI. And it would save us 1 card slot, but then we'd be fine. Are we cutting Arella? Arella seems a bit like nice, like not necessary, good but not necessary. Specifically as a 1 of. Do we ever cut Arella? Can Arella do cool shit? Not what it means, but it has the word "hang" on it. Chad, I'm waiting for your feedback because I don't want to take out a really flavorful card from this deck without consent. I don't want to upset everyone. Need yellow for Ibrahim. I think we have enough though because we added IP blocks. Like we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can cut the Rella. Cut Standoff. Standoff seems really cute. Standoff is just like fine. Like standoff is an agenda we can discard. Admittedly, I never like standoff because it doesn't actually give you a lot of agenda counters. Yeah, fuck it, we can just do that. Deck. Standoff is though good with Arella. That's the problem. Like that's the cool combo is Arella and standoff. Does Oberth do anything without Arella? Yeah, Oberth is huge. Oberth is probably the best card in the deck. Shit, Jaina froze. I don't know. Arella's great for putting a runner on tilt and making them run when they don't want to. Some ways I think, I don't know, Sigur's project, can we even threaten that? Like, what can we do? They just steal it. Feels bad. We're just gonna lose slower. There. Oh. What? Oh, I didn't hit minus. Minus. Okay, so we can add a card. We can add a card. A card we can add. An ice? What do we add? Yeah, Arella places advancement, doesn't advance. You can install Junebug with Arella. You can. You can install Ice with Arella. You can do anything with Arella. She's flexible. Cut Arella for GFI? Yeah, I'm on board with that. We have one, not an influence, but like what's a Wayland card we'd consider playing? Do we put a TBTF back in it? Stock buyback? None of that seems very necessary. Neutral cards, coming to a loss. We could also play another Ibrahim. We could also play Salam's Hospitality, but that doesn't really help our deck too much. Add another Ice. All right, well, we're playing a fair bit of Ice. I actually want to play just like a quarantine system. Let's just play another thing that lets us forfeit to res. What's another good forfeit card? Or TBTF? Do we not have enough money? Maybe we don't actually have enough money. I want to play something flashy first. Do we do another Ibrahim? Ibrahim is a lot harder considering that we took out our standoffs. Ibrahim standoff is like trivial to get up on the table. Ah, fuck it. We're going to put a standoff back in. I feel good about a standoff. Let's see how good it is. Or wall to wall. Ooh, second Tithonium. Those are also both very good inclusions. The problem with wall to wall, it eats the remote, but it actually doesn't, right? Because you bounce it. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. I think second Tithonium is good. Tithonium is a hell of a card. Rashida 3X. We'll draw just as much and get just as many credits with standoff. Standoff, mind you, is the original Rashida. He's like gain 5 draw card. That's like just as good. All right, Ferret is playing Sunny. We don't have any tracing besides the IP block. Opening hand, not good. This is good. Tithonium early is okay. The trash of resources. Hey. Best of Lurk. Have fun. Hi. I think we can mulligan this and high roll it. Nailed it. Tithonium hits like a truck and says this as someone who's been receiving it over and over again. Tithonium is such a good surprise. Put Tithonium in everything, my friends. Put it in everything. Do we just sneak this shit out? I don't think we do. They usually don't interact with us turn 1, right? Oh, hey, Sunny, that Navi Mumbai might be good now. Oh, is it? Because she can't use her breaker? Whatever. Whatever. We cut that card so quickly. It was spinning. Sure Gamble into the diesel. Dirty Laundry probably going to R&D. No further access. They get an access here with 7. Going to gain more money off the top. Again, we drew both of our trace eyes. Oh, whoops. But anything here would have been better. Better than nothing. It looks like Rashida might just fire. I don't know if you face check here. I don't. Pat tap, whatever. You have more money than us. We're going to win without. We don't care about the credit advantage. This is what we care about. Navi doesn't stop security nexus. I actually don't know what the text on it is. I have a 10 deck to rent Tithonium back in the day. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, play that in pawn. It's so fucking good. I just want to don't have to res this, but I'm going to advance this anyways. We don't need to get full value. We just want to jam it behind a Tithonium, because if the Tithonium hits, it gives us some value. I imagine they'll play like a Data Folding or something this turn, or Zeki. We can get some pretty good hits here. During a run on the server, the runner cannot use paid abilities on 9 icebreakers. Oh, security is a trigger, not paid? It's usually paid if it's in like a bold text. Yeah, there you go. That's fine for us. Yo, Marcus, what's up? Andre, with Rashida, after you res, you can just start turn and it will give you the prompt to gain credits automatically. Yeah, you're right. It does do that. But I'm so used to doing the opposite that I'm actually scared that it won't fire 9 out of 10 times. But you're 100% right. All right, so they're doing the drip economy. That's good. We're just going to advance this. We're going to score it. to gain money. They gain 2, whatever. And we'll get this on the table. Once this is scored, ooh, if we can protect our Conifer town, you see where this is going. Carry on, glad catch a stream. Hey, glad. And also, like, I love anytime I'm fucking anything up. Like, if it's like, oh, this would be more efficient. I do love that a lot. But I know about that one. That one is something that we choose to do. Wrecked because I was hoping to use security chip. You were wrecked because you're hoping to use Amakua. Am I right? Nexi, okay. All right, server not looking amazing, but so all we need to do is to get 2 hard end the runs on the remote and then protect the corporate town in it, and we might be able to lock out Sunny. Maybe. It can't be 2 things. Office supplies for only 1 credit. They have 3 link now, Sunny's, and by the way, Sunny's console. This is not a paid ability, so yeah, Nave Mumbai won't do it. Paid abilities generally look at something like this, where it's bold cost followed by colon. That's my understanding. It could be wrong. Correct me in chat if I am. Can you forfeit lead to have them lose clicks and res corporate town? Yep. Yep, we can. And no, sorry. No. This is a forfeit paid ability to do that. No, sorry, you can't. I misunderstood that. If you want to forfeit to this, you have to actually forfeit it. You're not forfeiting it and getting an additional ability. They know there's an IP block on HQ. All right, looks like they're gonna have to make a run. This seems pretty good. They break it for literally free if we don't boost the trace. So it looks like we're not gonna boost the trace. This IP block here, we're probably just gonna overinstall over. We didn't do the first time just because it looks a bit harder, but now it costs us too much money. Single axis, they hit the Afshar. That's one of our better pieces of advice. And we know for the remote server, we're going to need 5 credits to install this and then 9 to res all of this. In theory, we could res the Thonium for the false lead, but we kind of want value from that. That's another office supplies. Just an easy mark. Not particularly compelling. You can do either of those things, but you can't do them both at the same time. Exactly. I haven't played Sunny since we lost Mr. Phones. Is she good again? Yeah, she's fine. She can just be slow, a bit meta dependent. It's a white hat. Oh, that's annoying. Fuck. Yeah, she got a lot of good hits. Like the drip economy is good. She has some acceleration if you want to play Gachapon, but it's just fine. Nothing really changed too much. It's just like drip economy is still really good. Rizeki is good. So Whitehead gets to reveal her whole hand. She can return 2 to R&D. So it looks like we're probably not going to keep our corporate town. Overinstall IP to save remote money? Yeah, we're definitely going to overinstall IP. We're not going to keep this around. This is fucking useless. Trace 3. So this, she let us keep a focus down. She let us keep that. She let us keep that. Oh, that's so nice. All right, so we can put border control on the remote. We can jam the corporate town. They need to be able to get through this, which they can trace through. Now, the thing is, this is 15 credits for the whole play, which is pretty bad. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I think we're going to click for credits for like a wee minute. So we need 14 for this. 13. I included install cost. I've had worse. Wow, that's a 2 influence. I guess Diesel's still 2 influence. Maybe the money doesn't matter that much, and this like is just a better ability. Wait, what clearly not aware of what card does if you're Sunny? You definitely shuffle Corporate Town. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think it's weird that they didn't shuffle Corporate Town. I think they felt pretty confident about their ability to get into the remote. Dirty Laundry on. They know this is an IP block. Well, that's fine. Access the Ashar again. Turning wheel, by the way, did come down early this turn, so that run is even slightly better. Third pat tap, it's okay. We built a deck around not having money. I'm kidding. You're going to get your money. And I don't care if we fucking lose the game on R&D like we will. This corporate town's going off. And if they use their Nexus on the border control, they might not expect the Tithonium. And the Tithonium will trash so... Never mind, we lost. Oh, fuck! We need the Afshar on the remote. And then they can still get through. This breaks barriers, mind you. They had it. They had it the whole time. I don't think we res this. They know it's a Tithonium here. Thinking we pop false lead? Probably not. But maybe, just maybe, you can BC them if they run last click? Yeah, sure. But then we res Corporate Town. Oh, res Mouseless? If we res Mouseless, they just Nexus it. I think we still will. They could let the credit fire and then they gain 3 if they want to just take a tag and a net, which actually might be right. But they're doing the trace, which is fine. It means they can't trace the remote, which means they're less likely to run it. I don't know. A lot of times I think you hit this. Oh fuck! Like if they have 3 pad tap, like you giving a credit, it's huge. It's a huge 3 credits. Like why not? And so Zeki, do we res this chat? Do we res the corporate town and put an Afshar on here? I kind of want to. I just want to get more value from it. We'd have to do it now if we do it anytime. It's not the deck to res it. Do it. Everyone's saying do it. Do it. Wesley, what's up? Yeah, we're doing it. Fine, we're doing it. We can put 2 advancements on a card. I guess the mouseless value. And so we can trash a card, cannot be prevented. What? Oh, okay. Turning wheel is how we lose. This is their drip economy. This is their, we can trash this. So this is technically the best. In theory, turning wheel is more important because that's how they win the game. So I'll give them a credit this turn. Want to get rid of turning wheel? Yeah, I think so. That's probably how we lose. And I think we want to get the Afshar on server 1. We can draw it once. Oh, this is spicy. All right, so now 3 end the runs and a border control, and we're gonna slowly pull their board apart. This is also cool in the way that it controls the game on the basis that that like it's hard for them to play resources into this. They're running it. Okay. So we can't res all of this. So we can res the Afshar and then fire the border control, and then they can't come back. Probably pretty bad play, but we're just fucking sticking to what we know till we rip a hostile off the top and they gain 1 billion credits. They can't get in their mode? You know they can, sorry. Marcus said they can. They totally can. So they need to trace this. We're not going to boost it. They now know all the ice because they did expose this. I'm just going to end the run here. So they can't do this twice turn, so it looks like the corporate town's getting another sweet rip here. Our money situation is poorly, but this is okay. Now, can't you pop BC and corporate town lives? Yep, totally. When your turn begins. So in theory, we have to do this before mandatory draw, so we cheated the other one. Oh, I don't know if we're going to play an econ card. If you're going to play an econ card, it might be better to get rid of the pad tap. Oh, damn. If only we had standoff or hostile. We're cooking for 3. We're probably not winning this. The fact that they had actually the breaker they needed was so lame. But it could have been so cool if we could just lock him out here. But it looks like they're just going to trash it. So we traded a false lead for trashing 2 pretty good resources, and they have to still fence 5 and do 2 traces, which they spend 4 each time. Or 2 each time, sorry, 4 altogether. Then we, I don't know, we jammer this dude in here. The bad thing about this, like, in a similar way to SSO, Jemison does have to snowball unless they can fast advance from hand. Why aren't you killing Nexus or Program there? Corporate Town only trashes resources. All right. So at least they're only getting 1 credit a turn unless we play an econ card. Speaking of econ card, this isn't exactly one. If we put this in a remote, we can't really jam an agenda, so we'll draw once. Scoring a food is kind of rough. Wait, how much money do they need to break this? 246. Oh, actually, that could be good. They might not run this turn. That's much worse than I thought. It's still really good. It also can't be prevented, which means it's always going to be a niche card against like combo decks. Make them come after Salem. The thing is, I don't want to jam Salem into the remote until it matters, and we can't res Salem. Like, I think the best thing here is we rip a what's it called? Well, yeah, this is fine. Like, they're gonna go further to trash this. I don't think they'll trash Salem. And we just need 1 more credit, and we could actually hit them so fucking hard with Tithonium. Like, they're not doing the math. Maybe they knew that we don't have exactly 9 credits. But if this fires, we probably win the game. And they need to trash this on site. So next turn we can install advance of food, which is like a garbage thing, but we could forfeit it. Yeah, right? Like, they have to trash that on site. We don't hedge fund because they get too much money. We just push everything in the remote. If they run this, Tithonium does fire. We'll pay the 9. Hey, Nanko. What's the chance they forgot? I think they exposed this, right? They know. If I'm not mistaken, it's 5 strength? So 2, 4, 6. We don't res that. They hit a GFI. Fuck. Mind you, we would have been in game point if we ran the 3-pointer. We wouldn't have got any additional value for it. What does it cost Sherman to break Tithonium? 6. 2, 4, 6. It's a white hat. That's acceptable. Hey, bud. What are you doing? Oh, did you find your box? Oh, I'm going to take you out for just a second. This is Nanako. There's a cardboard box right behind me that she's a pretty big fan of. So just say hi, and then you can go back. She's a good cat. Did throw up today, but good cat. All right, they're at 7. They can do it. They shoveled back. They know our whole hand. They shoveled back focus group and Ibrahim. So we lost Ibrahim on the remote. If we play gamble, they make way more money than us. So we could double advance and then click for credit, and then we could threaten to res Tithonium. It's interesting. Her name is Nanako, which Maddie named her. It's Japanese for small vegetable, if I'm not mistaken. Which is cute. What a cute cat. Most cats are, aren't they? All right. I don't think we win this one, y'all. And if we boost into this trace, they can't get through here. Like, sorry, we can't res this if they boost into this trace. Like, we just needed more agendas. If we just draw hostiles or like the 2-0 standoffs, like you can see that we can start doing plays, but we don't have any plays. We need agendas for Oberth to be like good. We just don't have it. Even if we score this, we're in a pretty bad spot. They're drawing up into something. What are they, respecting Junebug? My friends, it's a film critic. It looks like we got a global food initiative. I'm glad we didn't spend the agenda that's weak to Junebug. All right, now we have an agenda, and this is huge. Because if we have a way to forfeit this, we can jam like, what's it called? We can jam Project Junebug on top of an Oberth, and then they generally die. Yo, drew my deck in the wrong order. Nisei Jackson win. It happens. Oh, Black Hat, that's fine. This is acceptable. But admittedly, like SSO and Jemison are pretty order dependent. My old cat was named Malcolm, which is Scottish for something. Sure, it's a good name. So this is Black Hats for the rest of the turn. Whenever they access R&D or HQ, it's going to be a legwork or R&D interface, respectively. I forget what order I said those things. Please don't trash the Oberth. So they hit the slot machine. Can't trash that. Oberth, they're gonna trash that. That's bad. So that's 2 of our win cons down, and we have a preemptive that's back in our deck somewhere. Continue encounter. Here they'll do a trace. We could boost this. No, not really. We really can't. And they're going to see 3 cards here. We could lose. We're 2 Oberths down, which is our big way to make sure that we can threaten Project Junebug. So that's a problem. I used to play Restore. Actually, I technically used to play Friends and High Places. Oh, that's the hostile we wanted. And now we're R&D locked. They know the top cards of R&D. So that's going to be an issue for us as well. Their money's pretty bad. Like, I really don't want to play the gamble. I think as bad as our money is too. We just broke R&D lock. I think we're just gonna click for credits. Like, this gives them 3. Like, it's really bad for us when they're struggling to deal with our remote. This would be in theory good if we drew our focus group and we knew everything in their hand. I've had worse. That's the second we've seen. So they're spending a fair bit on draw. Dirty Laundry coming in. That's just the IP block. Getting the Afshar there would have been obviously nice, but manually trashing pads isn't the worst. I think right now we can't do it because as soon as we manually trash pads, like, we have no play. We always want to be able to threaten Tithonium. We can't trash those taps. We really can't. Our win con is about being able to res a Tithonium. Fortunately, their win con is faster than us. So the cool thing here is that we could do next turn we could do pad IPO, so at least we get a lot of money and they don't. I think that's what we're going to have to do. So they're going to get 3 and we're going to get a lot more than 3. So that's good. I think we can do that because they only get credits once. It also means resing slot machines sometimes can be a liability to us because they lose 3, we gain 3, they gain 3. Maybe not the worst, especially if we can defend both centrals. Running archives gives them sufficient information. They're going to basically see that we threw out 2 IP blocks. Obviously not great. And they haven't found, like, I guess they have 2 more Data Foldings, 1 more Rozeki, and there's so much card draw on this deck. They're not playing Gachapon, they're just playing Diesel and Knife Head Warriors, so they're actually paying for it. All right, well now the Tithonium isn't doing so hot, but again, and they have all their breakers. Hopefully they're going to be a bit more encouraged to run. We could always res the Archer. Sacrosanct the Global Food Initiative probably won't hit because of the security nexus, but it's an option. Okay, this is a terrible play. It's a 1 in 3 on HQ, but at least we have 20 credits now. Let me move my face. I don't think we have this game. We really need a way to sacrifice agendas, and we really need a way to do them at the same turn that they hit a Junebug. Full Reek Sunny, you're done? Yeah, well, we're a trap deck, so not necessarily, but the sentiment is right. Shrike is the best breaker in Sunny Suite? Technically, yeah, because of the subroutine thing. It's the most expensive, though. It's also 2 influence. There's folding. Okay, so now we can jam. Now we can do border control jam. Ooh. So it's not entirely over. Like, in theory, if this goes through, which it just might. It's unlikely, but it just might. We might be able to pull, if we top deck an Audacity or top deck an Atlas, we can fast advance out. That's pretty low chance, right? The thing is, they don't have to Nexus this anymore, which is the worst case for us, but they have to get through a Tithonium twice with the border control, and that can actually be pretty hard when they have to pay, well, the Trace, which we could probably boost into, or Sherman it for, again, 6, which is not sustainable. We're going to have to spend, what, 13 resing, though? Office Supplies, that's an easy mark. Gain 3, not a bad start for contesting the remote. Draw again, okay. Now they have to run the remote twice because of border control, so it looks like we're gonna get a Jackson Clare coming down for free. Ooh, they don't want to run this, and this means that we have a small chance of winning the game. Obviously, they're on game point minus the standoff, and we have a counter here. So we can always use this counter to either find the last Oberth, and we can jam Oberth on top of the Junebug, which will be lethal if they ever run it. So we can protect the Oberth in the remote. Until the problem is that Oberth doesn't really help us win the game. Jackson Clare getting a free run, seeing archives. You might as well run anything else, really. It's really good with Turning Wheel and Amakua. So you're saying there's a chance? No, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance. Like if we top deck Audacity, we win. And they've shown what so far 2 multi-access cards. Oh, there's the 3rd one, mind you. I was just checking for that Black Hat. So they can sweep HQ, which obviously would be bad for us. If they sweep the top of R&D, it's okay. If we do draw an Audacity, it's okay. It's fine. Meow is correct. Meow. Meow. I don't think we have to bother resing this. Do we res this? In theory, also if we res this, we might know what they're drawing into, so then we could like maybe pull a focus group, which would be buck wild. So we res for 3, they lose 3 usually. Do we res this? I don't even know. Yeah, we're all family meow. Yeah, fuck it. We'll trade. This might be wrong. They can also just Nexus it so we pay 3 for nothing, but we're not gonna need a lot of money to close the game out. And if they, it's program event, so fire all. So basically nothing happens besides we gain 3. So literally nothing happens, but we got free ice. They gain 3 back because of the pad tap. So luckily, at least if they run R&D, we'll get our money. Or not necessarily. And we got to remember this shit, right? Striker, so program event. Program event is on top of their deck. Program event. We're going to lose our Junebug, but then they know we're on Junebug. Excuse me, and then we're really in. Like, then they're scared. This deck does run a lot of agendas. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's correct. I see. Ooh, that's a good one. Accessing the 2nd Archer. So they know our whole hand. They can run R&D. Program event. Program event. Again, if they hit this one, it'll just be event, which means this is always worth resing. They might break it the 2nd time around. I reckon it's pretty expensive, 246. Yeah, okay, cool. This is a good slot machine res. Right? They couldn't access this. So it's event. Ooh, hoo-hoo, focus group coming up. So Deuces, White Hat, Black Hat. That's really scary, but Fire also. We actually make money, they actually lose money. Choose an installed card to put 3 advancements on. Oh, you spoil us. Slot machine. Such value. This is why the Masfingos were in the deck. Am I right? It doesn't matter. Sherman breaks all for 2, but I see where their thinking was. That usually never happens. The amount of times that happens is countable. That's good, though. So what is it? Deuces, white, black? Or deuces, black, white? It's deuces, white, black. I imagine they'll just Nexus Trace this. And if we don't lose in their Maker's Eye here, we do have a small chance of winning the game. It's pretty likely we lose in this Maker's Eye. There's still 1 food, 1 Atlas, and 2 hostile. And I think a standoff, and that might be it, actually. I don't want to get my hopes up. So I'm just going to predict, well, that's it. We lost. Yeah, we lost. Fuck. If that snuck through, obviously, we would win. To look at their deck there, that was it. We were very close. That was it. All the agents were at the bottom. Good game. And so all we had to do was draw this Audacity, which was 1 hedge fund too low, and then we could have closed the game off. Unfortunately, we would never seen the focus group. Hey, cheers, you too. Now, they did have exactly the answer they need for this. Like, and sure, other runners would too. The idea that they had the Sherman and we had double barriers on the remote. But like, if we could keep them out with the what's it called? The Corporate Town could be good. Let's run another one. Few people play Sherman, almost none play Lamb. Almost nothing else breaks all the subs on Barry for flat free. Yeah, Masvingo's looking pretty nice right now. Do you kill it often? This is the first time with this deck, but classically, yes. I always play at least 2 Junebug and Jemison. Yeah, Junebug and Jemison's nutty. Nah. I reckon most lists would, and it's probably overall better. But we're playing someone's list. So we'll see how it goes. It goes. All right, we'll do one more. This is not a bad matchup, no doubt. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst. They had the multi-axis when they needed it, and we were not that far off. Like, if that whiffed, we draw the Audacity, win the game, and there's nothing they can do. So I will take it. We got this. Hey, we got this. We got this. We got this. Hey, cool. Thanks for the game. All right. Path to the win. Yeah, we're getting there. Did we learn anything about our deck itself? No. No, we learned nothing. Let's go. A big thing you find about these games about killing someone with a Junebug is sometimes you need 2 assets on the table and you need them to run the right one in the right order, which is always really exciting. 25 games, man. People are playing online. Holy shit. That's good stuff. Competitive lobby. Ooh. Trace League. Red Rock Redemption. Yeah, what's the last like Jemison we have in here? Is that a Red Rock? 5th Rock. Mars Attacks. Our stats aren't very good on these. Vegetarian Jemison. Oh my one. That was not our deck list. 4th Rock. That was a good rock. And then we don't have any stats there. Because I think JNet purged stats at some point. Alright, it's 11:30. Hopefully we can get in a quick one. If you're just tuning in, by the way, my name is Andre. How's it going? We're stuck indoors like everyone else. Hopefully we're having a good time streaming. We're going to stream at some point this weekend. I don't know if we're going to do the full 7-hour, but we're going to do maybe a 3-hour, 4-hour this weekend. Sorry, I can't tell you exactly when it is because I don't know. I don't have a really good way to tell you when that is. Besides, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you want to hit follow or subscribe and make sure you hit that bell button. YouTube's been really fucking up in terms of like recommendations and videos showing up in feeds. It's just not been doing it. So if you want to know when we stream sometime on the weekend, that's probably the best way to get it. You'll just get a notification. I know it's hard to plan, but it's the best we got. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. What's up? It's gonna be bad radio while I eat this. I'll just mute the mic, it'll be cool. That's a trick they teach you in radio school. They're like, hey, if you think there's an awkward silence, just eat something, because then people expect you not to talk at the same time. It'd be rude if you did. What are you eating? Is a vengeance jerky? No, it's a cookie Maddie made. Oh, we ran out of eggs. And we haven't gone grocery for a bit because, well, even at the grocery store, last time we went 2 weeks ago, you couldn't buy eggs. Let alone, I think specifically we buy like particular eggs. So she found a recipe that makes cookies without eggs in it. It's not bad. It's pretty good. We eat eggs. I miss eggs. We haven't had eggs for a while. It's weird the stuff that was out. We went grocery shopping on Monday in the morning 2 weeks ago, last Monday. We went there. There's certain things that we expected to be out, and they were. Like, it was easy to find milk. There was no eggs. Bread was fine, but Maddie's been specifically baking bread, which has been okay. There's no toilet paper. There's another thing that they didn't have, which was wild. It was like totally gone. I wouldn't have expected it. I forget what it was. There's like 3 things that are totally gone. I wonder how it is now 2 weeks out. We've been told the tip, and maybe sharing the tip is not good, but there's a big, like, huge outdoor market that's like a big part of the area of Montreal I live, and apparently they're still open. But the thing is, like, it's an outdoor market, and people are really not cool with that idea, so nobody's been going there, and it's still open, and apparently they still have eggs and everything else, so. Soap? Oh, I didn't check. We have soap here. It might be soap, though. The panic buying has died down. It was hard for a while because everyone panic bought milk, and you need that while you have a small child. It's back on the shelves now. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, I'm assuming 2 weeks later, that's all probably been fixed. 419 could be an issue, actually. This hand is not great, but we could do worse. Do we mulligan this? We could do worse. Milk, eggs, bread, we're all gone. They're back now. Maybe that's just down here, though. Oh, no, I wouldn't be surprised if that was everywhere. Oh, cheers. Thanks, you too. Okay, this hand, not the worst. We have 2 ice. I think we can keep this. We're pretty far away from hitting the IPO. It's not the best hand. Playing against Freedom, we know what Freedom does. Access on virus counters are trash and cards, which is our deck can be disrupted pretty heavily. In retrospect, I think you'd always just straight... I love when that happens. Grim was that card. You'd always straight mulligan into a hostile or standoff. I think maybe we fucked this up. I really want this for the remote server, and I think we might keep that. So I'm just going to do HQ credit, and then next turn we can do credit install whatever ice we draw for either R&D or the remote, and then IPO. I guess I got confused for a second there. I assumed you're talking about Animal Crossing eggs. They don't have... Oh, yes. I was going to say there's no eggs to eat in Animal Crossing, but you're right. There are fucking eggs, and it's a problem in that game. The whole internet's reacting the same way, too. They're just like, what's with these eggs? It's not just me. The Animal Crossing memes... been pretty on point, and I'm not a memes guy. I'm assuming this might be the actual same deck. Oh, fuck me, that's a problem. I guess we're just gonna lose whatever's on the top of R&D consistently. Maybe the border control does go there until they find their Yusuf, and they deal with it pretty easily. This is SMC for a consume. We could only doubt. Hashtag egg rage. I wonder if Nintendo's gonna address it and be like, okay, you guys, you can opt out of the egg shit. It's cool. Oh wow, it's a Yusuf. Wouldn't have assumed. It's pretty good against Wayland, a lot of barriers. So they're accessing getting a virus counter. They have Imp. They're going to just go ahead and trash the slot machine. We'd love to top deck that. And they still have their Yusuf trash if they access something that has 3 cost or less, because they'll get 1 on Yusuf. So they're going to go for that. Fuck, it's an Atlas. They have no money now, though. So they're super weak to economic warfare, hard-hitting news, all that shit. We're obviously not playing that. Oh, that's a pretty good job. They know that. I think they're watching the stream. At least that's what they've suggested. And this border control on the remote is less good. We now want the Tithonium to hit. There's no resource to trash, but at least we'd be able to eat some programs, which is great. Should have the eggs drop alongside whatever the normal drop would be. Yeah, also, the eggs take up inventory slots. So now it's like you're running around. It's like, oh, you could collect your wood, your clay, your flint, or whatever that stuff is called. But also now you need more space for the 8 types of eggs. Like, it's annoying. They just jam your shit up. Anyways, I'm not sad. I'm not upset. All right. Wow. Chad, do we have a wild focus group? Are they really stream sniping? No, they're not stream sniping. They just know the deck list. It's very common that people will join in from somewhere else. They also can trash Corporate Town pretty easily. You know what? I reckon we might want to just false lead. Again, we need to really draw a hostile or the 0-2 standoff. Eggs. Such degenerate people. Shit. Read focus group well. Yeah, they have to make a successful run. Choose a card type, then reveal the grip. You may pay X to play X events or tokens on an installed card. X is equal to or less. And we have to pay X, which is something we not need to do. So yeah, we can't do it now, but eventually we will. It'd be next level scummy. I don't know. I imagine people do stream snipe at some point. Like, we've been streaming for a really long time. I've no doubt someone stream sniped. Sometimes you can tell when weird shit happens. We're assuming they're playing the deck that we did, so these are one ofs. Do we throw away our whole hand just to score this? No. Draw for ice. Okay, well, now our turn is going to be awkward. Gotta throw out something. I think we throw out focus group. Oh, that was not right. Value. I mean, with the nature of the game. Yeah, the nature of the game doesn't help. We, for what it's worth, ran a tournament on Saturday, and it wasn't a big stakes tournament. The prize support was like a free entry if you're even in the area and going to play Interstore Championship. But like, people played online in public lobbies with their hands exposed, and like, not everyone even cared that much. That's a hippo. They have access to all their breakers, so whatever we res here is going to probably be eaten. Do we res the IP block? It means they actually have to break all of it, and they can't do it. It's actually a pretty okay res here. Because strength was 1. Oh wait, no, they exactly have 3. They could do it. That's awkward. I guess it uses the tokens. Yeah, whatever. If they hip on IP block, we're happy. Yeah, they have exactly 3 tokens. Oh, they could have used the imp token as well. So now they have 4 tokens. Anyone who stream snipes you just doesn't care if the game is fun. There, I said it. No, you know, I imagine if you stream snipe it, you care to win. Which it's fine. I could see why winning on stream might be a cool thing to do. Particularly if you think I'm like good at the game. Or you want to make me miserable, like, you get a reaction out of me, like, fucking man, people probably, I don't mind if people queue up with Red Planet just to make me like have a reaction. Like, I get it. I don't think people are doing that, obviously. All right. The game is afoot. They need their Knob Curie, and again, their economy is really bad. They're really just asking to get hard hitting used or whatever. All right, Gremlin. Imp is empty. They still have the Yusuf ability to get counters, let alone to get access on ID. They did hippo our IP block, which is a pretty low cost ice, a low rent ice to do that on. They did trash the archer with the imp, which is something we would love to see right now because we can afford to res it. We also can start trashing their resources. Oh, this deck actually runs very few resources. Corporate Town probably was worse of a keep than Focus Group if we thought about it for a second, and we didn't. We can get through the border control pretty trivially. It's only 2 counters. I think I've seen you build at least one deck with a really weak economy before, only for somebody with no Jinteki games to queue you with Gagarin. That's the type of person who wants to see other suffer. I don't know if that's true. Did someone queue us? We've done them before, like we would be like, oh, this deck is just bad, and then like it doesn't have economy, and we queue up against Blue Sun. It's just like, okay, well, we lost the game. But like, admittedly, it was a bad deck. Oh, okay. All right. Do we bluff that this is fucking hell? This is fine. Before Andre gets swatted by Twitch. Yo, that's legitimately not too funny. Like, not at all funny at all. I'm glad people stopped doing that. They used to actually be a process, like a thing that would happen somewhat consistently as like a really fucking funny joke. People died. Yeah, swatting is trash. Played you twice and was coming from Place of Ignorance both times. That's just where I live in my life. Heyo. Ah, Global Food. Oh, looks like we're gonna lose the game here to singles. It's more than singles though, because they have Imp and the Yusuf and the ability to trash cards, so they technically have like built-in multi-access with Freedom's ability. Oh, NGO front, trash for 1. I guess we're gonna lose to singles. Our deck has a lot of ice. We only lost 1 so far. How did we lose Slot Machine? Oh. Oh, they trashed Oberth for free. Alright, do we just hostile takeover out? Oh, this is Tithonium, and they don't know about this one. It would be important to us that this fires appropriately. I guess we draw for ice. We shouldn't have done that last click. We put this on archive, so at least we ice up everything. Swatting is not funny, not good. Yeah, swatting is really, really bad. It's not funny, bad joke there. Oh, no, Jazz, I know you don't mean it as a joke. The only time swatting is allowable is when you're playing Shadowrun. Hey, reference. Swap 4 was a cool game. That's my reference. Hey, Liberated! We are gonna fucking destroy it. I'm kidding. We're gonna... Oh, standoff. That's cool. Boom. Threatening the win. The fact that this Junebug hasn't moved for a while is problematic. How many tokens do they have on there? 4. Which means this, they need what? 2 for strength, 3, 4, 5 for subs. So, not great. We actually might want to purge. Huh. Still a lot of work to do. How many Obras are left in the deck? 2? Yeah. And man, we could have kept this. We would have thrown it out anyways, but maybe it's better than Audacity considering what our hand looks like. And I'm not surprised that they're not running R&D HQ. Like, look how many agendas they've seen. All right, you win. That's a bit of a tell. But that turn we honestly maybe wanted to purge. I wanted to draw into another ice because I think our deck right now still has a fair few ice in it. More than anything else. Like, we don't have a lot of operations, and our upgrades are really good too. Even our assets are fine. Rashida here is okay. It's a bit of a liability because it draws a bit of HQ pressure. Luckily, we did do the double ice preemptively. Res Tithonium. Okay, let's think here. We can pay 9 credits for this, no problem. They don't have a paperclip in their bin just yet, so this thing is going to be a bit scary. They have to pay 2 tokens to get the strength, and then they can break 2 subroutines. So no matter what, one of these is going to fire. So imagine they break 2 of them, and then they just... like, we really need to purge for this to be good, but we can lose if they don't, so we're going to res it anyways. No, we don't want the alternative cost. Thank you. Yeah, we should have purged maybe that turn. Hey, Defcon, have a good night too. Thanks for dropping by. Take care of yourself, huh? Alright, so this is... if they want 1 subroutine fires or all of them fires. One of them is a bit better than the other. And eventually this is just going to get killed, right? Like, man, if they had just like a Devil Charm, this would be so scary. It's exactly the amount of resources and programs I have. The plan. Perfect. Full value if this fires. Indicated fire all? What? Why? I'll take it. They didn't break any of that. I don't know why they didn't break any of that. They could have got through in an Axis and won the game. Look, we're doing really poorly right now. We're going to have to take those. That's good. We wiped the table. Seems important with how this game is going so far. And this border control looks a bit better. We know that they're on another Yusuf and another paperclip or a paperclip. I want to play some Shadowrun in this quarantine, hit me up. Hell yeah, that's wholesome. So we will draw into an Oberth with the Rashida. Let's see what they're doing here. Moshing. Not random. So they threw out En Passant, Labor Rights, Daily Cast. Okay, so first thing we know, this is not the deck that we thought it was. This is diverged from the deck that we were playing. Actually, we should have noticed with the data sucker. It already did diverge from the deck that we were playing earlier today, let alone En Passant and Labor Rights are not in it. This is a restricted card too, which means that they're not on paperclip. So the only ways that they have to deal with barriers are probably 1 or 2 other copies of Yusuf and then some amount of Palangis. Palangi is also pretty difficult because they're also going to need to install a breaker from the heap, and it looks like they already have 1 of each. Most of these decks run 2 black, 1 MK Ultra, so it actually might be hard for them to get through border control on the remote. The Archer, for what it's worth, is a lot worse now. Oh, second SMC. Okay, so they're probably not on Consume, but that's actually really scary. That means they can get anything. And they're running here. So we're going to head res the border control. It's fine. They can get their SMC value, but we get to see what the thing is that they install. And then from there, if they pop it, we can maybe just stand off and see how it goes. Man, I really hate the fact that they fucked up the text on this thing. When you score standoff, each player... hate is a needlessly strong word. When you score standoff, each player starting with the runner trashes 1 installed card until 1 player declines a transfer card. Okay, fire all. Alright, so we get 1 and the run fine. Rashida lives. Plus Seminars? What? Wait, what did you go? What others? Sorry? Virtual GaryCon was rad. There are a few more coming up. What's Virtual GaryCon? Oh, sorry. I see here. Gary Gygax's con got canceled and went remote. I signed up and never played so many TTRPGs. 4 days of 3 times 4 hour sessions per day. Oh, fuck yeah. That's super cool. Yo, David, what's up? Hey, it's Andre guy again. No time to stick around. Have a terrific stream, friend. Yo, take care of yourself. Hope things are going down all right in what I'm assuming is New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. CyclopsCon is coming up for Goodman Games, and I'm all about it. Hell yeah. I'm gonna click that. Sorry. I'll click it now, I guess. Cool. We got ice. All right, so ice is a good thing to have. Having multiple ice on the remote is pretty good, so we'll put this on R&D, I guess. This is a bit of a liability out there. Man, border control on remote feels bad, or on archive, sorry, feels bad. Remote feels good. From here, we can jam something. If they steal the false lead, it doesn't help them win that much, so I'm pretty on board with it. And what do we throw out? We have not res a lot of our ice. I don't fucking know what to throw out here. I think it's the standoff. Whatever. I played in B. LaSalle's game. He's a good DM. I know Gehenna Gaming is having one soon too. Dude, if you're into DCC or MCCL, we need to hang out here more. I don't know what any of those things mean. I'm glad everyone's having good connections though. I'm not a tabletop dude, like RPG tabletop dude. Labor rights, okay, recursion. So they trashed the top 3. So that came out as Mem Strips, Wild, a Knife Head Worse, and Moshing, and they put 3 back and then draw 1. So back went Imp, Self-Modifying Code, and the Yusuf, which is good. From here, we could double advance into IPO if we're not scared. The fact that Yusuf is back in their deck is a really big deal. We also could just triple advance here, which puts us on 3 points. I don't know if this false lead actually helps us win that much. Next turn, we could jam the food and food false lead, border control. All that stuff lines up pretty good. Maybe we double advance into IPO. Yeah, I feel like double advance IPO is enough, because then we don't throw out a turn, and having the scored immediately doesn't matter too much. Having more money is good. Yo, Ken70, what's up? I miss playing Netrunner IRL. Yeah, fuck, it's hard, right? It really is. If you want something a bit more manual, you can play on Tabletop Simulator, I guess, but I feel you. Hopefully you're doing okay. Andre, get into an online game with Patrick, open enrollment, and I'll 100% be there regardless of system. Just do it. Yo, Pat's more into that than I am. That's interesting, though. It's also worth knowing that Pat was meant to be here today in theory, but obviously distancing and all that, he's not. We asked to do if he wanted to do remotely in, but he doesn't have the setup appropriately, so we'll figure out what to do in the past. I forgot to pay my rent yesterday. Let me fix that. Always, thanks, Pat. Adam, what's up? Longtime Netrunner player. Enjoy your games. Really nice to see Netrunner getting attention. Certainly deserves it. I really agree with the fact that it deserves it. I'm glad, Adam, that you're enjoying the content. Cheers. Thanks for rating the comment. Hopefully you're doing well in these times. We're going to score the false lead. All right. Do we jam Ibrahim? Do we jam Ibrahim? Every fantasy game I played, I was a cleric. George the cleric. Do we jam Ibrahim, my friends? Do we jam him? Or do we try and win the game? Okay, we're hitting a fork here. Do we jam Ibrahim, or do we try and win the game? It's an interesting fork. Ibrahim is a card that I don't think I've ever res. Its ability is interesting, especially if focus group was in your hand, which it's not. Jam Ibrahim and name a program every turn. Still in the game. Hey. Fuck it. That's good enough. Inspired me. Win? Ah, Jogging, you were too late. Frank went before you. It's not the manual process I miss, it's reading the player I miss. Yeah. Yo, you can do it. Play on JNet, set up webcams. A lot of tournaments are doing it where they do voice chat. If you're playing on like Discord, you can be in the table. But I do agree. The camera and the table talk is such a big part. Sorry, Jogging, we're not winning. We all love Patrick, let's figure it out. And then Jogging, I love every funnel I've played or run. Hole and size, scalers, creep, skag, creep. Yusuf coming down, they're infecting it, or contaminating it, sorry, that's the new one. And now it has 3 counters. SMC here, we're gonna go ahead and res that Afshar, Code Gate into Barrier, and a false lead, but the state, they did not respect. We could have fired that off. I guess we purge next turn. This deck should have a CVS. It's a Blorch. One of their MU is over. Wait, where'd that come from? Oh, from the bin. Oh, they gotta trash something. Okay. We don't border control this, do we? Oh, they just did it in the wrong order. Andre, play with us? I've never tabletopped. Like, I've never RPG'd. I'm like super nervous. Giles is saying Ibrahim, fantastic. All right. Yeah, it's all good. I don't think that they have enough tokens to actually trash this. Oh no, they will exactly have enough tokens to trash this. Well, whatever. We'll make them spend their resources before we consider trashing. Let them trash. I think let them trash is correct. Oh, you still got break. Oh no, they did break. Damn. So they will have the money, but I am the virus tokens. Demi and Women winning aren't mutually exclusive. Come on, they largely are at this point. Interestingly enough, I did not expect a Contaminate, so I don't think they have a paperclip. Well, we know they don't because they're on labor rights as their restricted card. No, they can trash this. Jam next turn? They can get in next turn. Next turn we jam a Junebug, right? Did we jam Junebug Oberth or some shit? Oh. Thank you for the credits. Very kind. They chose to reserve some of the use of counters. I think that makes sense. They were way more reliant on them than we were. No further access. We could res this just to get advancement counters. That's Ibrahim Salem. It's either going to be 2 virus counters or 5 credits. One of those sounds a bit better than the other, but I think no matter what here we purge. And then the game comes down to like how many copies of Contaminate do they have? It's an interesting question. The purge also hits the consume, and it's not like their economy needs it. Their economy needs it though. I think we purge this. Corporate 10 seems pretty bad. I think next, like, we just need to get an Oberth off the top. And they're pretty scared. We're not running another Tithanium, which we should, but these are all pretty good hits for them. Our hand is a bad thing, though. Oh, liberated. Damn it. Our corporate town. Afshar is good. Afshar is a good card. Do we just do install advance on this bad boy, or do we install advance false lead? Fuck, chat. What do we do? Do we actually bluff out the Junebug? Do we bluff out the Junebug? We could get up to 6 points. We could do install advance. Then we could forfeit this. They win. IA false lead? I think you're right. Still advance once, you can always false lead to make it lethal. With the Junebug? Yeah. Yeah, let's just hope that they might not expect this. I like that play. This is a double bluff. Maybe they think they really can't get into it. And they probably don't run, actually. Wait, they don't have use of counters. We could have jammed there. Don't contaminate this fucking turn. Because, like, right now they make another click. Yeah, fuck! We could have false leaded for the food. Oh, shit, we fucked it. No, Junebug 100% I think was 100% wrong. I didn't realize that they don't have use of counters. They're really scared to interact with us. We need an Oberth on that stat. And now we're throwing even further. I told you. I know, jogging. I know, you're right. Okay, this at least buys into that ruse a bit better. Pitching C down, what do you have means? They have 1 resource. It wasn't particularly good. They have the money now. This is good though. We committed. Please fucking contaminate. Piss. Jam Meow. Should have jammed Meow a couple turns ago. And as soon as we res this, can we even res this? Yeah, maybe. Not feeling great about how we're doing this one. They have 1 click left. It's an imp. That's fine. Oh, we lose here. Yeah, we lose here. I'll let everyone down. I'll let everyone down. It's very likely for us to lose. Res? We have become res? Program, resource, fire unbroken. Thanks for the money. Alright. It's very likely we lose here. Oh, actually no. 3 of them they can steal. This will definitely res. We should have jammed the food. We should have believed in ourselves. I think that's the message that's important to learn. We should have looked at the board and saw no use of counters and believed in ourselves. So just, they have to not hit the food. They can consider breaking this. Ending the turn with a tag seems not good. We're only at 5 credits though. It's hard to deal with if they want to break all of it. They could break 6 and then one of them still fires. So it's up to them. Spending 9 here seems difficult. Oh, they're boosting. It's at 4 strength. They're boosting again, so they've broken 2 of the subroutines. So now one of the subroutines is unbroken unless they pay an additional 3 credits. Give the runner a tag. Oh, sorry, net damage. Yeah, of course. They have 6 cards in hand. Made sense. Friday chip. All right. Believe in the kami that believes in you. No further action. They hit Audacity. Okay. Can't be upset about that. We did lose a win condition, but can't be upset about that. Okay. Things are looking dicey, but we're gonna just hover our hand over this button here. Purge? No. We're good. We're gonna false lead. And then we're gonna get absolutely shit on. Maybe Purge was right, actually. Yeah, Purge seemed better. Especially, but we don't have money. Yeah, maybe spending money when they're open is bad. And yeah, I think Purge was better. You have to respect the like Tithonium here. In theory, we don't have money for Archer, but this could be NGO front into Archer, which would be kind of disastrous. I don't know if they're gonna respect that. Hippo, hold on. No. Oh, hold on. Yeah, fuck it, we'll false lead. Thanks. Cool. So this is the sort of deck that in theory, we could have had a card here that says take 5 meat damage, which would have been lethal, or take 2 tags, and then you just win the game. Like, there's a reason why that agenda shows up on the deck, but this deck, oh, fuck me, doesn't actually have a win con. Imagine we had the Audacity, right? We're at 5. Okay, this should draw their attention. Do you have preemptive? Yeah, we have 1 preemptive and 11 cards. But this is a big problem. At least the ice here is like pretty unattractive. Oh man. So all our fast advanced tools, besides Oberth actually, if we draw Oberth, can we win? 3, 4, 5, 6? No. No, I don't think so. No. It's worth knowing the 0-2 is in here. It doesn't have any interaction on firing. Maybe Amani Sanai is a good card. Amani Sanai is a good card. Alright, do we ever res Ip block? Ip block will trace him. It means that we can't res this though. We gotta res something here, otherwise they get more encounters. I think we don't res this and we purge next turn. Is resing this wrong? They can't break it, so the trace is gonna fire. They break it for 1 credit, but at least they can't hippo it. Yeah, and it's not great. Maybe we don't res this. If we do Rashida though, purging is really awkward, and then they put the pressure on HQ, so I don't think we res Rashida, I think we just purge. So trace 3, obviously don't want to break that. Maybe that res was wrong. I think that we're in a really bad spot though. We should have purged last turn instead of pushing this thing out. Because we spent 5 credits, give or take. I guess we didn't spend all the 5 on it. And we didn't get enough value from it. Like as soon as we lock them out, we lock them out. So they paid 1 with the bad pub. Again, Tithonium is scary. We can res Tithonium for free at any point. Unfortunately, our deck only has 1. And I would totally throw away 1 point to res a Tithonium to start wiping their shit. Oh yeah, standoff, that scared me. I think RP block is good. Even if they eat a hippo on that, it's better than a better ice. Sure. But they have to break all of this. Alright, this is good. They're spending money and tokens on trashing Rashida, which we were going to purge away anyways. That's 3 credits. They can't hippo it. The thing is, this doesn't eat a hippo, right? Because they didn't break all the subroutines. Boarding control is huge, especially in a deck with false lead, so we're not going to pop that to protect Rashida. I think we're just going to purge. And they probably just click 4 off consume. Shit, it's almost midnight. No further action. The Axis here, probably play 0 virus counters to trash it. Seems good. Alright. Consume? Still haven't used an imp yet. Do they just swing R&D? I guess they can never run R&D. I wish we had triple advancements on the mouseless. Just for value, just so that they wouldn't face tank this, but I guess they wouldn't anyways. What do they do here? Contaminate you can only play on a card that has no advancement counters on it. There's no way they rely on this, right? Because otherwise we can maybe lock them out, but like if we purge, they can just pay 1 credit to get through here. Yeah, they consume. So I don't know if we even if we purge. Wow, Oberth. We don't have the money. Oberth install advance is a 4 credit play. Maybe we just click 4. I think that's better. I'm not worried about a single use of token. And next turn we can sacrifice Oberth for hostile for an Atlas, and I think we get a token on it. And from that, we unfortunately don't have any of our fast advance cards, but we could pull. Well, if they don't trash the Oberth, they lose. Wait, maybe we actually fast advance. We trade a hostile for a false lead. Is that right? Do we trade a hostile for a false lead? No. That can't be good. Nob Kari. Okay, that's actually officially scary. Now they want to run R&D once a turn. Or sorry, archives once a turn. But luckily we can keep them out. We might actually have to res the border control and go down to 0. And then HQ is the only way they can get in, and that's a problem. As soon as we lock this out. Alright, we're going to lock them out and get money back. So this res is not terrible, because we'll actually get 2. So we're going to pay 2 for this. Don't trade a 1 point for a 1 pointer. Well, you might do, because false lead is really good with the border control. And it gets an agenda out of our hand. I guess that agenda doesn't matter that much. So this is a really good res. It's protected behind the hippo, and they can't break it. They can break 1 sub on it, which I don't know if they want to do. I guess you could. If they're expecting a purge, you should. But we could gain a credit. It's actually 2 credits. It's per ice. I'm just going to hover here. Something's going to fire. Preemptive would also be good if we rip that off the top. I wonder if they'll break it. There's an argument too. Wait, what? Oh, they can use the imp tokens. Fuck me. Whatever. We're purging anyways. That doesn't change anything. I wanted the 2 credits. They can fully break and use counter-storming cards. Oh yeah, you guys say that once they do it, and you fucking never have to read their cards. I'm joking. Yeah, I should have known that. The chat delay is way worse than it looks. All right, well, purge. End card. It'd be nice if we could play gamble. Remember how we took out Too Big to Fail from this deck? They can use the imp virus counters for Yusuf. Yeah, they can come from anywhere. That's really important. So now the only place they could quote unquote get in is HQ, which is a huge problem because they have a 2 in 5 chance of winning, a chance of disrupting our game plan, and a lot of things in between. And 2 of our June bug baits they never fucking took. Our June baits. And they saw 1 June bug, so they know June bugs are afoot. They've actually seen both June bugs. So they know if we install advanced events, and that's actually worth keeping in mind, right? Because sometimes we can install advanced events and be like, is it the 3rd June bug? It's never the 3rd June bug, is it? They're drawing for more contaminates, I reckon. En passant also scary, but I don't know. It seems like they have enough ice destruction cards if they just played like Devil Charm and Chisel, which they're not. It looks like they're on en passant. Maybe Run Amok too? Never gonna play a slot machine? No, we're not. It's like 5 credits to even begin to res it with install costs. We have NGO? Yeah, we have 2. Oh, we have 1. We'll get 2 together, 1 left in the deck. Credit install advance would be fine for NGO. But 9 cards too also means like the agendas are somewhere. And it looks like a lot of agendas with a lot of 1-pointers, but we're gonna deck out if we don't move. And again, 4 credit play to get this on the table, and then they have to deal with it. What the fuck? Tripano? Okay. It's like a virus breeding grounds that also trashes an ice. Takes up an MU though. They have lots of MU. That's interesting. Seems a bit worse than the other one. And NGO. Shit. What do we do? Credit, install false? I think so. I think Oberth NA the GFI is the out. Wait, if we installed that in there, could we have won? Oh wait, am I stupid? Oh wait, I'm stupid. Install, if we had this pre-installed in there instead of the false lead, which doesn't help us win in any meaningful way now that I think about it for a second, we install the Oberth, and then next turn we do install Global Food Initiative. We advance to get 2 counters. We forfeit a 1 point, which is 2 counters, and advance it again. Yeah, we're too poor for it, you're right, but if that was there, we could have, okay, well, it's not good we got that out of there. Okay, slot machine's gonna fire. So again, we have a big chance of losing here, 40%. And they're going to get an imp token as well. Event hardware. So fire unbroken subroutines. We're going to get the money that we wanted. It looks like this is going to fire as well. And they're kind of just desperate. Like they can get double use of counter. Now we have the money, yeah, right? Now we could have done it. In theory, it's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could have done it. Let's see what they do here. They could break 2. They could just let it all fire, right? Like, that can't possibly matter. Wow, they're breaking it. They're accessing with no money. Which subroutine fires? Which sub shall I fire? 1 net damage. Okay, Friday chip. Seems a bit much. And again, 40% to lose. Big chance if they imp with the Nobkiri to also lose our win con, or one of our pretty easy win cons. But again, 40% here. It's also going to give them the use of counters, which they might want to charge this remote. But at least they don't have money for double Afshar. Hedge fund. Still in it. Alright, imping that. That's fine. Get some Yusuf, give them consume. Feels okay. Fuck. Now we triple advance the false lead out? Oh god, that's terrible. Wait. No, I think we still do it. I think we forfeit a false lead for a hostile just so we can train. Oh, they're doing it. They're going, how? They can't even break this. They can't get through the Afshar. What are they doing? Am I missing something? They have 2 credits. They can't get through the Afshar. What am I missing? There's no tricks here. They literally just can't get through the Afshar. Sure? En passant? Oh, it could be en passant. You're right. I think they did goof something. I think they just need to click for credit or whatever. They click for credit, they can do it. But then we res the second one, which, you know, is money. But then they lose 2 credits sometimes, which is bad pub. Mind you, the board state that we're in right now is predicated on the fact that they ate a Tithonium for no reason. I don't even remember what the axis was behind it. All right, click for credit. So here we go. Oof. Okay, do we res this? I think we do. Then we can't score this though. But then we can install this on top of it. I swear I can count. All right. I believe you. And then next turn we just jam the Oberth and hope. They can break this. It's not worth it. They shouldn't break this. There's no reason to break this. So I think we do credit, install. And then we have 4, and then next turn we can win. Yeah, there's no reason to break it. Breaking this loses you money. What would they think? Oh, I guess they could break it and hippo it. Never mind. No. Yeah, they could break and hippo it because they haven't broken an ice yet. On an outermost specifically. So they could break hippo. It cost them 1. Might actually be worth it. Man, the bad pub is really not helping us. Alright, unbroken. Okay. So I don't know. Okay, that's fine. I think maybe you want to hippo that. So they lose their 2 bad pub. So they don't lose anything besides a click and end the run, and they know what this is. Again, that could have been in theory, a Tithonium. It could have been an Archer too, which would have been fucking devastating. Alright, that's good. Alright. So if I'm not mistaken, if this thing survives, we win. And they need to run the server twice, but most likely we're going to lose off of HQ. It's a 50-50. And the HQ ice is a bit more porous than we'd want. An Afshar on HQ would have been a bit better. They only break it for 1 actually, maybe not. With the 2 bad pub. So install, flip, puts 2 counters on it, advance puts 2 counters on it, advance gets 1 counter. It's on. Yeah, this is technically on. This is also worth noting that this has counters on it. I'm totally going to forget that the Tripano all the way across the board has virus counters on it that they can use for Yusef. So they actually could maybe go for a run in R&D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe they could. 1, 2, 3, 4. They could actually make a run in R&D for sure. And if we res anything, we're not going to have a chance of scoring. Love this tension. Yeah, it's a bit tense. It's a bit tense. And what's left in the deck in terms of agendas? Okay, I don't know what this is, but this is probably good for us. Fire Unbroken. We're not going to boost. They pay 1 with bad pub. And I think they're just checking out. What are they doing here? Wait, they just took a tag? That seems suspicious. That can't be right. Runner's acting. Okay. That's all good. All right, try it again. Trace 3. We're not gonna boost. Now we boost. No, we don't want to boost. Fire Unbroken. I'm assuming they're not breaking it this time. And they pay 1, 2 with bad pub, which takes their bad pub away. They could break this to get an access here in archives to get like Namkiri and tokens, but they spend tokens doing it, if I'm not mistaken. Body Vault would be pretty sweet in this deck. Alright, continue to encounter ice if you'd like. I don't know what tricks we're having there. I think you pop the border control after they break, trick them into running it again. I think you're right. I think there's no reason not to pop the border control here. Yeah, there's no reason not to, right? And also it takes away 2 virus counters, which is huge. It does give them 2 money for consume. No, it's whenever we trash it, so it doesn't. So Fire Unbroken, it's going to give us 2 credits. Continue to pass ice. Yeah, we're going to trash this. All right, waste a click. Has less tokens now. They lost a bunch of tokens. Now they can always run this to get a token, but that's all we need. Like we basically need just them not to run this on their last click. Oh, this is going to be hard. Even if they run this, we don't lose. HQ is a problem. That's actually the big problem. Putting Tripano on an ice that can trash itself, like, as long as they run it, I guess, is that we can take away their virus counters for nothing. All right, this is good. Fire Unbroken, yeah, of course. We actually can boost here for 2 to make it 5. Interesting. Yeah, fine. I'm getting to that archives. All right. This is like we only need 4 credits, and I don't think they're gonna like play something that's gonna remove our credits. And maybe actually they could have that archives card that makes us lose 3 or whatever. But now they have to actually pay into this trace. And if they pay into the trace, the after gets a lot harder. They paid. Oh wow. So now it looks like a double after seems a bit better. Wow, they paid 3 for that. And they're in. So Namkuri. Well, we're still streaming, Terrence. Yeah, it's pretty late. This is our last game. We started at 12:30. It's still going on, but we're hopefully 2 clicks to winning. Everyone's on game point. So, how you doing, by the way? Access is 20 cards in archives. That's a scary number, but only 7 left in R&D. They could maybe access here. They could definitely access HQ. And the remote seems a bit off limits at this point. Pretty good. Good to hear. All right, runner, click, click. We've done it. This is the best deck. Remember when we chose about winning or not winning? Agenda not on top. There's that archer we wanted. So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully we don't fuck this up because I'm not that confident that I did all the math right. Okay, that's fine. So res this. Or forfeit this, puts 2 tokens on our friend here. We advance this once, which gets double advancements, and then we advance it 1, and then credit perfectly, we score 7. Good game. Hello, Terrence. I miss you. That's coming from jogging in chat. Good game. Oh, that was a stressful one. Woo! You can do some wild stuff. Now, that could have just been an Atlas on some defensive upgrade we would have won, so that looks pretty different. That was a June bug. Nah, false lead. Another agenda. Just 1 pointer though. Nice. You did the trick. We did the trick. And the thing is, like, in theory, our deck should be doing that trick pretty consistently and jamming in the remote. But then it matters, like, the order we draw ice. It matters the order that we draw our 1/2/1s first. I think you mulligan for 2/1s. We probably should be aggressively. We did draw 2/1s, but then our ice fell apart and they got a lot of singles. They almost won off of just an uniced R&D. So now imagine you could use red level clearance to put Oberth down clicklessly. Yeah, I believe it. Was that the list that you sent? Like, red level clearance is a hell of a card. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, this is Quarantine System. This card's actually really cool. I like this card a lot. Actually, I probably should try this because I think Quarantine System and Red Level are both pretty good. The problem is you're playing closed accounts or hard-hitting news where you should just be playing more June bugs, am I right? And score SCS during deployment out of hand. 2 cards on server. If I run that, I die. HQ had 2 agendas for most of the game. The 2 axes you made, we got pretty fortunate. By skin of our teeth, yeah, right? Anywho, that's all for tonight. We'll be back at some point this weekend. We'll stream for, I don't know, maybe another 3 hours. I don't know when. Check that stuff out. We streamed Doomtown yesterday as an April Fool's joke. If you want to check out the video, maybe you don't know anything about the game, but we did teach you how to play the game. I think it's definitely well worth your time. It's a really, really cool game, and you can play for free on Tabletop Simulator. My mod isn't publicly available yet. I need to look into that. Such a big pain to get in there most of the time. Yeah, it was. Real talk, no commute is nice. Yeah, right? Like, I don't mind staying up a bit later than normal. Locked me out pretty good. Yeah, we saw no paperclip, which is huge. That's all. I'm gonna go find some food and get to bed. Thanks to everybody hanging out in chat. Hopefully you're doing okay in these very weird times. Hopefully you're holding up all right. Everyone we played games about, everyone watching the VOD, take care of yourself. Hey, cheers. We'll be back. We'll be back soon. I finally show up at work on time every day. Nobody knows I'm not wearing pants. I think I might be even later when I'm working at home, you know? All for tonight. Dude, jump on something else. DCC is amazing with others and we can make fun happen. What's DCC? I don't even know what DCC is. Thanks for stream, Adam. Hey, thanks so much. Glad you can make it. Thanks for posting comments on YouTube. As always, love the game. Thanks for stream. Hey, Wesley as well. Hopefully you're doing all right. I'm on Slack. Jogging says night peeps. Love you. Take care. Hey, take care, everyone. Yeah, again, we'll be back on the weekend. So hopefully see you soon.